Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh, goodness. Okay. Double coupe pulling up. What the fuck? Okay, let me see. Let's look through this chapter again one time. Oh, yeah, that was loud.
Double
Damn,
coupe pulling up. What the fuck? Okay, let me see. Let's look through this chapter again one time. Oh, yeah, that was loud. Damn, I remember that. Yeah, that was loud as fuck.
Shit is cool every time they do it. Okay.
Shit is cool every time they do it. Okay.
Double coupe. What the fuck?
Double coupe. What the
Life
fuck?
of a fucking alcoholic.
Life of a fucking alcoholic.
There goes my guy. There goes gang. Pulling up. What the fuck? There goes gang. Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. Ugh, these US bitches kind of bad. Okay. Oh, these US bitches kind of bad. Okay. Damn, why it's not letting them in? Damn, why it's not letting them in? What's good, Goofy? What's good, Goofy? Man, topic tonight. It's all about One Piece, my guy. One Piece is going crazy. I don't know if you just seen that recent episode of Solo Leveling. Man, topic tonight. But we're not talking about One Piece, my guy. we're talking about some One Piece. Chapter 1144, I believe. Episode of Solo Leveling. Insane as always. But we're not talking about. Reason, it's not letting my we're talking about some One Piece. Chapter 1144, I believe. Insane as always. He's a host now. For some reason, it's not letting my guy join. Interesting. Oh, he's not a host. What's good, Jane? Oh, it says he's a host. See you. Now. Good to see you. Good to see you in the mix. What's good, Jane? Unable for him to join. See you. To see you in the mix. 4K. For some reason, unable for him to join. Well, I didn't know you could do that. 4K. I didn't even know I could do this on Instagram. Okay. I didn't even know I could do this on Instagram. Interesting. Okay. What the hell, man? Oh my God, Ree in the mix was good. Ree was good, man. Crazy. Was goody, was goody. Oh my God, Ree in the mix was good. Ree yo, man. Yeah. Like you don't want me to go live. What's good? Finally got you in here. Yes, sir. What's good, Ree?
I acting like you don't want me to go live.
It's Sunday, so I know you caught up on the finally chapter, got you in here. Yes, sir. What's good, Ree? Ree. I don't gotta ask about you. I know how you get down. Sunday, so I know you caught up on the chapter, man.
Me?
Oh, he reads it live on his stream. Huh? I don't gotta ask about you. I know how you get down.
Yeah.
Okay. Me.
Ree might have not read the chapter yet.
Oh, he reads it live on his stream. Glad to have y'all in the mix. Glad to have y'all in the chat. For sure. Okay. In the chat. For sure. Man, what's good, Goofy? Glad you're here with us, man. Yeah, as I said earlier. Glad to have y'all in the mix. Glad to have y'all in the chat. Y'all four in the chat. We did. No, you good. Man, we did. Good, Goofy. Glad you're here with us, man. So we really gotta discuss. Yeah, as I said earlier. 43 and 44.
We missed last week.
We did. No, you good. We did. We did miss last week. Talked to you about 43. So we really got to discuss 43 and 42. We talked about 44. Yeah. I don't know why. Like I talked to you about 43. Okay. That was in 42. We talked about y'all. 42. I haven't seen y'all streaming.
Yeah, we talked 42.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Ree. I'm gonna try to catch you. I'm gonna try to catch y'all. I haven't seen y'all stream in a minute. So we can yeah, I haven't read it yet. Rehash a few things. Things are definitely picking up steam right now in the manga. I'm gonna try to catch you. I'm gonna try to catch you on your stream tomorrow. I was just talking to Trey yesterday. Rehash whenever I read the chapter, things are definitely picking up steam right now. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I say this all the time. One Piece is picking up. But every time I read the chapter, I feel like it just has to be said again. But whenever I read the chapter, I was talking to Trey. It feels like there are never any like. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I say this all the time in One Piece. But every time I read a new chapter, I feel like it just has to be said again. we
for
could
me,
debate about the anime.
it feels like there are never any like
but as far as the
down
manga
moments
goes,
in One Piece, like as
I
a
feel like it's
whole, like
never
the
under
manga.
like an 8
We
or
could
8.5.
debate about the
Other
anime
mangas
just
I
because like the
read, bro,
pacing is a
sometimes
little
it be a
stretched out.
7,
But as far as the
like
manga
throwing a light
goes, like
maybe 6 in here
I feel
every
like
now
it's
and again, then
never
jump back to
under
like
like
an
an
8.
8 or
Maybe like
8.5. Other
they'll
mangas
be
I
blessed to
read,
get a
bro,
9.
sometimes it
Oda
be a
be dishing out
7, like throwing a
9s.
light heavy 6 in here every now and again, then jump back to like an 8. Maybe like they'll be blessed to get a 9. Oda be dishing out.
I'll be real. I don't think we've got a. I
I'd
don't
be
think
willing
we've
to
got
argue
a
it's even longer than that.
6-rated
Even
chapter
like before
since
Final Saga started. Like the last
Every
time I got a
chapter's been like
6
7 and up.
from One
I'd be willing to
I
argue
don't
it's
know.
even
I
longer
could be
than that.
biased.
Even like before Final Saga started. Like the last time I got a 6 from One Piece. I don't know. I could be biased.
Wano definitely had some 6s, but I don't think there was any 6s after the raid started. After the raid of Onigashima started, that's when everything revved up. The last chapter I felt like was a 6 for me.
Oh,
or 7, like a solid 6-7 would probably be the chapter Luffy gave the flag to Momonosuke. That was a real calm chapter.
Yeah, getting
compared
to it.
to everything else.
I ain't mad at that.
Provided us.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Let me see.
Though everything else was like,
so
I kind of get what.
Honestly, I just want to jump into it. I'm on the viz right now.
At that.
But
let me see.
The Elbaf being attacked by the
honestly, I just want to jump
children's
into
worst
it.
fears.
Right? I'm on the viz right now,
and we see these monsters pulling up.
The Elbaf being attacked by the
I knew you would. I knew you would. First thing I want to talk about is
this thundercloud. These monsters pulling up.
Right
now, I have a lot to say about that.
How do you think this thundercloud?
First thing I want to talk about is this
parallel to Zeus, right? Like Nami's Zeus in terms of strength.
How do you think this thundercloud is like? Parallel to Zeus, like Nami's Zeus. In terms,
I don't think it's nowhere near as strong.
Okay.
But at the same time, it is a pseudo cloud. Me and Reed have been talking about this for a while. This is partial the way we get Big Mom back into the story.
That's a good trip.
It's going to lead into Big Mom being back in the story, but there's literally a giant old woman that mirrors Big Mom, and then there's
a good trip.
A thundercloud. Then there's a thundercloud that also mirrors Big Mom, mirrors Zeus, and then if I'm not mistaken, Pandora, which is the flame, the sun that Mother Caramel made, it's supposed to still be in Elbaf.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
And then that's
noticed
Prometheus, but I don't know.
I guess in terms of strength of these monsters, I think it took.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Which monster was it? I think it was the skeleton. I think it took 2 giants to take down the skeleton.
In terms of strength of these monsters, I think it took. Which monster was it? I think it was the skeleton. I think it took 2 giants to take down the skeleton. That might have been Dorian Bragi. If I'm not mistaken.
Was it? I thought Dorian Bragi pulled up after the skeleton got knocked down. I remember Dorian Bragi took down that dragon in that one shot.
Might have been Dorian Bragi.
Oh yeah, they might have been that. Yeah.
Was it? I thought Dorian Bragi pulled up after the skeleton got knocked down. I remember Dorian Bragi
every time they do that move,
that dragon. In that one,
it's
shot.
Never watered down for me. Like every time they do that
yeah.
combo attack, I love it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's
every time they do that
steel panels, but every time I see it, it feels iconic.
Watered down for me. Like every time they do that combo attack, I love it each time. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm just looking at steel panels, but every time I see it, it feels iconic. From them doing it for the very first time,
yeah, that shit is so cool.
Helping them get away from them doing it at Egghead to now. Every time I see it, I'm like, damn.
They haven't done this since Water 7.
And I don't know if that's just because we don't get combo attacks that often.
I need to see. I'm not hype until I see Zoro and Luffy do it again.
So do you? Because honestly,
they haven't done it since Water 7.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get hyped for.
I'm gonna be real with you. I kind of threw that away. I don't think we're getting it again. Do you?
So do you?
Do you really want me to get hype about it? Throw some black light on that bitch. Then we can talk.
I'm gonna be real with you. I kind of threw that away. I don't think we're getting it again. Do you?
What?
So are we getting the exact same one they did in Water 7, or are we getting a different variant of that?
You on crack? What? There's a
I'm saying like
getting
combo attack. So like the technique.
Are we getting the exact same one they did in Water 7, or are we getting a different?
Hell no. The one they do gonna have black lightning around that bitch.
I'm saying like the style of the combo, like the technique or whatever.
Might be. He ain't gonna take all that prep like it did last time. I think they just gonna do it this time. But still, definitely different. Yeah, the combo attack again. If not from Zoro and Luffy, it's Zoro and Sanji.
I'd like to see a combo attack from Sanji and Zoro. Whenever they fight together, I really rock it.
Maybe even Luffy and Jinbei. I definitely see a combo attack coming.
You'll probably know.
I'd like to see a combo attack from Sanji and Zoro.
They run
whenever they fight together, I really rock
Zoro's like
I forget what movie it is.
And I think like Sanji
you'll probably know
blade and like throws him something like that. I can't think of
they running and then
he like throws him up
like.
And then Sanji does something.
And I think like
Sanji. But anytime they fight, like even during the Navy back fights when they was having like a little,
I can't think about what movie
situation.
But he like throws them up.
Seeing like the wings of the Pirate King like go at it.
But anytime they fight together, like even during the Navy back fights when they was having like
I'd like to see that
2v2 situation. I love just seeing like the wings of the Pirate King like go at it in a tag team combo. So I'd like to see that some more.
Valdoni, Robin don't got the AP to be matching.
Trip says Luffy not doing that combo again. More likely to get
the best Robin
Zoro and Sanji and
Jinbei help.
The only reason I feel like they're not doing it
Trip says Luffy not doing that combo again. More likely to get it from Zoro and Sanji and Jinbei together. The only reason I feel like
that's what I was saying. I feel like we might get it from the lesser part of the crew, but
I could see
we can get it with Luffy again. But if we get it with Luffy, it might not be with Zoro. It might be something calling for like
I don't know, like
did a
how
combo attack with Shanks
I view Luffy today.
I can see,
he's just like miles ahead of all his
teammates.
I
don't know,
so like
how I
like Water 7. It was like okay, yeah, for sure. Luffy,
he's just like
I see that. Damn,
miles ahead of all his crewmates.
But now it's like
so like
Luffy's just so far
like
ahead
Water
of all
7,
his peers.
it was like okay, yeah, for sure.
Every
Luffy,
big
Zoro,
moment
I see that. Damn, he's combo attack more.
Solo shit.
But now it's like I feel like Luffy's just so far ahead of all his peers. Every big moment he do is gonna be like on some solo shit.
Says Dory and Groggy one shot the Ghost and the Dragon. Okay, they one shot both of them, not just the Dragon. Okay, from that one attack, or you saying one shot
Dory and Groggy. One shot the Ghost and the Dragon. Okay, they one shot both of them, not just the Dragon. Okay, from that one attack, or are you saying one shot each?
Yeah, I ain't gonna when he hit Gear 5, that turned into
in certain aspects.
I ain't gonna lie, like because Zoro got Zoro got a boost. That arc is
when he hit Gear 5, that turned into another level,
bro. It's
I ain't gonna lie. Like
I literally can't compare.
Because Zoro got a boost. That arc as well, but it's like Gear 5 it's a hack, bro. It's not.
No, Zoro is a hack though. This is why I said certain aspects. You could have Luffy over him, AP, whatever the case may be. If you make them fight each other, Luffy is still prone and weak to what Zoro can do.
No, that's fair.
So it's not something that you can just completely take out. And Zoro is somebody whose AP is up there enough to make Kaido look twice. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to write off Zoro. I just definitely for the fans that think that like Luffy's a 10 and Zoro's a 9, I think we should fall back a little bit. I don't think Zoro's that close to Luffy. Like if
that sounds about right.
7 or 8,
I like 8.5.
I definitely think he's a whole number 8 ahead of that dude. So I don't think he's a 9. I think Zoro would be 8.5, whatever.
Yeah, I ain't like I said. I feel like when he hit Gear 5, that widened the gap.
I mean, there's people that argue me differently, but that's just how I see it right now.
Yeah, I ain't like I said. I feel like when he hit Gear 5, that widened the gap by a decent margin.
Bro, that's how I feel about. Sorry to take the conversation there, but that's how I feel about Sabo. Sabo was already a hockey man, Revolutionary Army number 2, someone who's already in Kuma's position inherently stronger than everybody else in the Revs, and then he gets the Devil Fruit. This is why I can never just sleep on that guy. I don't care if it's a flame fruit, and we've seen what the flame fruit can do, and Zoro could cut through fire and all that. It just wouldn't be that.
What do you think about Saul's?
That's all I say. It just wouldn't be that simple.
I don't want to say technique. I'll say like idea,
definitely
scheme, plan to stop the children from running into the fire. Do you think pulling them back one by one is going to work?
Technique, or I'll say like idea or scheme, plan to stop the children from running into the fire. Do you think pulling them back one by one is going to work, or would they have to try something else?
And that was kind of like a simple solution. Like, I can't stop him in the front. I'll just stop him in the back.
Let him just figure something out, and it keeps working, and he's sitting there watching. It will get more tricky.
And that was kind of like a simple solution. Like, I can't stop in the front. I'll just stop.
Too easy. Like, it ain't gonna be. It ain't. I feel like it ain't gonna be real. It ain't gonna be.
I expect that from a lot of the sort
of shit.
But what I was
saying, yeah, he's just talking to regular form and shit. That's typical. I expect that from a lot of
okay.
But what I was saying, I do think it's not serious enough until Robin and Chopper are helping Saul. Like they're seeing Saul do what he does. Robin literally has an ability to kick people out, but I do think it's not as she pleases. The problem is Robin needs something to protect her own hand. Her hands are by the thorns. She gets hurt by the thorns. So we got to figure something out. But I do think it's not, because right now they're just chilling in his beard. It doesn't seem like they, you know what I mean? Like they,
how OP do you think Summers
I don't think
is? I mean, not
his beard anymore, but we do need to see.
Well, no, not Summers. The dragon dude.
How OP do you think Summers' attack is? I mean, not attack. His well, no, not Summers. The dragon dude with the imagination thing.
I don't know, but I do think there's a limit to that shit. I see a lot of people in the fandom talking about it, and people not really understanding there's a limit to it. Like there's always going to be a limit. Just like the salt. He makes the salt, but you don't actually gain you don't gain any nutrients from the food that he would create from the dream. You know what I'm saying?
I actually wanted to talk a little bit more about that too, in a sense, but I wanted to
go back to you know what I'm saying? I just think. Oh man, I actually wanted to talk a little bit more about that too, in a sense, but I wanted to go back to another point. Not to overlook your point, but because me and Ree were talking about this a little while back on history, but
working with Saul to do what?
Remember the girl that was working with Saul?
Oh, okay, sure.
The giant girl that was working with Saul.
Working with
Saul. She was the one that's teaching the kids.
Oh, okay, sure.
I think she's an op, bro. I think she's the op. So just hear me straight. So the day the Holy Knights attacked here, we randomly had kids draw out their nightmares. Why are we even making kids draw out their nightmares? Like I'm on that. Like I just don't see why that's a thing we must do. We made the kids draw out their nightmares. The one time kids draw out their nigmares, we happen to get them brought to life. That's interesting. How did they even know their nightmares were being? They get them. That's what I'm saying. How did we know to even draw out the kids? Like who told the Holy Knight, hey, they are working on a school project involving nightmares. We could bring them to life. Who put this in the air? Like this is spooky dealings to me. Like nobody's questioning this. I'm reading the chapter and I'm like, so wait, who? What? Why we ain't dream good dreams? Why we didn't talk about?
Like I could bring up. I feel like I could offer a retort to that.
Why didn't we talk about nightmares?
But it might be redundant. Like, it might not even be worth mentioning.
I could bring up. I feel like I could offer a retort to that.
We could
offer it. I'm not against anything.
It might be redundant, so it might not even be worth mentioning.
The birthplace of
because it's like
the history of fearsome, fearless
Elbath, right?
Vikings, in a sense.
The birthplace.
I could argue
the history,
even though they're at times
of fearless
right now, and they're not really at war, and they're not really like on that rah-rah shit like they used to be.
Argue that even though they're
in the classroom could still be on some right guys, we're gonna face our fears,
and they're not really
so everybody
at war, and they're not really like on that rah-rah shit like they used to be.
Either talk about or talk
through. In the classroom could still be on some alright,
like
guys. We're gonna face our fears. So everybody draw out what they're afraid of, and then
we just got it. I don't really just know too much
about
talk
about or talk through
the teachings of
blah 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 to get over it.
To even
but
go
like
off
I said, it's
point.
like
it's a fair.
We just got it. I don't really just know too much about
for me
the teachings of current day Elbath to even go off that point. So
if that happens,
it's a fair,
like the third or fourth arc in a
perspective. For
where
me,
somebody like
I wouldn't like that.
And I feel like the more we do this,
if that happens, I think this will be like the third or fourth arc in a row.
And I see what
where somebody like double crossed us. And I feel like
no, that's gonna happen though. Did you not see?
So I'm cool with Gunko because Gunko will be.
I see what who's doing
for us.
Gunko,
I'm talking about double crossing us.
When I said this
I don't
whole
want to.
Rev
The
shit,
more you do it, the more it gets watered down.
But it's like, yo.
So I'm cool with Gunko because Gunko will be crossing for us. I'm talking about double crossing.
It was a little watered down.
That's fine though. It's fine. It's got to be up, man.
I was fine with it because it had to do with the Gorsay and
be honest,
other things.
I feel like it was a little watered down in Egghead when we got double crossed by one of the Vegapunks. I was fine with it because it had to do with the
you should have let that breathe a little bit more because that was a massive double cross.
But coming off of what we just had,
if we do it again
and that double crossing,
and this is on some the school teacher double process.
Okay, you should have let that breathe a little bit more because that was a massive double.
We doing it too much.
I'll let this slide. If we do it again this time,
our next,
and it's just on some the school teacher double process, I'm like, all right, come on now, we doing it too much now. It's gonna be another one next chapter, like our next arc.
I mean, I don't think it's that uncanny. This is look at who's look at who's doing the double crossing, right? If it is that person, right? This is somebody who's with King Harold. They're with the philosophy. They're okay with the change and all this other bullshit. And if I'm not mistaken, the Holy Knights was just talking about being at Harold's grave, right? And after hearing Loki say what he just said to Druden about killing Dad, I'm fully convinced King Harold was on the side of the Holy Knights. And that's why Loki did what he did, because he doesn't have the same vision for Elbaf that his father did. He didn't share that. I do stand on that. Now that we have confirmation of that, of him saying that as bros and him having that conversation, him breaking it down like that, completely on that note right there. I am reading Trip's comments. I definitely see.
Trip said it's. Let me see. It's typically to have children confront their fears through some sort of learning exercises, so it's not too suspicious. But
what's good,
if we fin out,
Trip said it's typically to have children confront their fears through some sort of learning exercises, so it's not too suspicious. But
Zah says, when the children got stabbed by the thorns, I was laughing.
The girl is Jar's daughter, then yes, she's suspect.
Trip says,
Zah says, when the children got stabbed by the thorns, I was
remember this is happening regardless if we're there or not.
Trip says Angie wouldn't be double crossing us; they would be crossing Elbaf. Remember, this is happening regardless if we're there or not. That's true.
But that's why I was adding. I don't want to fully say it's a double cross because apparently first come first serve. She's with King Harold's thought, and King Harold's thought is with the Holy Knights, is with the world government, the Mother Caramel philosophy.
Kidnapping the kids.
If anything, this isn't betraying Elbaf. This is propelling Elbaf in the vision, in the direction that King.
Who's kidnapping the kids?
I just don't believe
kidnapping the kids.
No, not kidnapping the kids. Siding with the world government. You could say kidnapping the kids because that's what them motherfuckers is doing, but they're only doing that because King Harold is not there to just let the country be under the world government. So. Yes, we have to go through other means to get to the end.
So Trip's not wrong about that, but I can say the same thing for Wano. Regardless of the paintbrush dude was gonna double cross
King Harold wanted Elbaf to
whether the Straw Hats.
Look, Trip's not wrong about that, but I can say
since the Straw Hats are hanging with the disciples of
paintbrush dude was gonna double cross Odin's disciples, whether the Straw Hats helped out or not. But since the Straw Hats are hanging with the disciples of Odin, we all in the same crew for this moment.
That's a different scenario though, because the country wasn't moving.
Let's go to Egghead. Whether Luffy pulls up or not, that Vegapunk is still gonna double cross the other Vegapunks. Whether the Straw Hats pull up or not.
So it's like, let's go to Egghead thing. Whether Luffy pulls up or not, that Vegapunk is still going to double cross the other Vegapunks, whether the Straw Hats pull up or not.
Different situation once again, though. We're talking about a king in the nation. If the king is cool with it, if you literally have the Holy Knights there, like, yo. Were you at King Harold's grave, bro? Like, not even King Harold. Were you at Harold's grave? You went to your man's grave, put some flowers there. Like, it's a different vibe. It's a different vibe when you have when a whole nation is on the whim of this. Egghead didn't have. Wano had that, but we were fighting from the ground up.
Yeah.
Egghead, there was no kingdom. It was just we gotta let our scientist guy survive. It was smoke from the very beginning. Kizaru was never on his side. Kizaru came there with the intentions of completing his mission, mental conflict or not. Kizaru went there with the intent of pulling off his mission. Straw Hats being there, feeding Luffy Uber Eats and getting him to do what he had to do, all that was just a coincidence that worked in his favor. This is
side note.
This is clear as day. To me, it's just spooky, bro. The day the Holy Knights is here, we going over fears and shit in class.
Side note.
And it works perfectly with the guy's devil fruit. He could just bring fear. This is random?
I feel that.
Coincidence?
I feel
I guess I'll have to say it's a coincidence.
I feel
Oda shows me
because I don't know. When I was reading it,
that motherfucker might be a duck, man. And
that's
real
you're not wrong
over here, bro.
When I was reading it, I was just like,
this is One Piece. It's
I wasn't looking to. I feel you.
You're not wrong.
When I was reading side note, do you think at any point Kizaru was ever going to tell Luffy, I'm the one that gave you that?
I'm saying,
dude, I feel. I for sure feel.
This is weird, bro.
Side note: do you think at any point Kizaru was ever gonna tell Luffy, "I'm the one that gave you that food"?
Hell
so you think Luffy knows right now?
We should only know.
So you think Luffy knows right now?
Kizaru shouldn't even have to tell Luffy. Luffy should know, and Luffy should just not be saying nothing about it because he still had to whoop that nigga ass.
I said, you think Luffy knows right now?
Yeah, he probably saw it happen. This ain't say nothing. That ain't beyond Luffy. Luffy got that same Zoro shit going on. Some shit happened, and then we find out later on. Oh yeah, word.
For sure.
But we might not ever find. We might never find out. That's why.
Goofy says, "You think Harold made an agreement with the world government? I thought they were under them. I thought they weren't under them." Zah says he gave up his horns as a sign of loyalty. You think Harold made an agreement with the world government? I thought they were under them. I thought they weren't under them. Zah says he gave up his horns as a sign of loyalty.
You could say that. I think the reason why he did the thing with the horns was for what he said it was. Him being a sign of loyalty to the world government. You can say that, but if you want to show true loyalty to the world government, just come under our wing, bro. And I think that's what was really happening, and that's what got stopped by Loki. And that's why you see things going on the way they were going on now, because they wanted they try to force it. They try to force Loki into it. They probably knew they had to force Loki into it. He wasn't going for it the way his father was. That's why his father not around no more.
Trip says, "Remember, bro."
I'm just saying, there's a lot of stuff we kind of been.
I don't know how to say that nigga's name, but bro and Summers.
I thought about this already.
Okay. Trip says, "Remember, bro." I don't know how to say that nigga's name, but bro and Summer
killing him. I thought about this already. I thought about this because to me, killing him was always supposed to go there. It's Summers that wasn't supposed to be there. That's kind of what I thought. But you know, it's whatever. I'm not sure which God Knight we weren't supposed to get.
That's true.
So remember, what's his name? Shamrock said send for another God Knight. One more came. That was always in the plan. That could have been Killingham.
Yeah.
Another one came, and I think that's why they sent Summers, someone to take order, someone to take command while Shamrock leaves. So I think Shamrock left so that Summers could sit there, and he's the only one there sitting there with more badges on than Shamrock. He got more accolades than Shamrock, and he seems like he has the experience on his side. He seems like Shamrock. Like I already told people this. If Shamrock got called back and they said, "Hey, well, Shamrock, we want to promote you to Supreme Commander now that your dad is Gorze," then I think Summers would be the one getting promoted to the actual commander position of the Holy Knights. But that's if he survives this ordeal is going on Elbaf, because I do think the Holy Knights take an L if they don't walk away empty-handed, because that's the whole thing plot. They got the story must go on. We're in war. When he sent, that's what I'm saying. Killingham was already on his way. He was already ready an hour late. All that other stuff. When he sent for when Killingham was already in uniform, all that. He was just on his way to the abyss. He didn't get there yet. When Summers pulled up, Summers in boxers and shit. He seems like the one that was not planned to be there. You get what I'm saying? Killingham looked like he was the one planned to be there. So that's why I go back and I harp on this. Why are we going over nightmares today? We could have did this last week. We could do this shit next week. Straw
I'm not mad at that
Talent
take.
class easy. Jeremy, you don't
I'm not mad
that
at that.
shit. But we going over it though. So I just feel like it's a little suspicious. That's just
Trip says, nah, bro. He sinned for another one after realizing he can take control of this place right
funky.
now. He said sin for another one.
Trip says, nah, bro. He sinned for another one after realizing he can take control of this place right now.
Summers might be hiding a secret ability.
I think one was always on standby.
What ability
That's
do you
why
think that
he
is,
had
Goofy?
planned for one and not the two.
Summers might be hiding a secret ability. What ability do you think that is, Goofy?
For sure.
I mean, I don't think they've shown for the bread and butter what they can really do yet.
So well, since we're already in, you wanna open up the live now? Have Ship say a piece.
Okay. Well, since we already in, you wanna open up
Didn't
the live now?
You're still here, man. Glad to have you this long. Hope you're not spoiling too much for you.
What's good, Ree? Didn't even realize you were still here, man. Glad to have you this long. Hope you're not spoiling too much for you.
Expect you to open up so soon. I'm in here cooking and shit.
Nah, you good, man. We
I don't think we are for real.
Yeah, we ain't
chat can move quick.
Just trying to elaborate on
I'm good.
Gentlemen, I didn't expect you to open up so soon. I'm in here cooking and shit.
You good, man.
What's good with y'all family? What's good, Nick? They were only there to recruit. I'm not even trying to derail the convo. I was just trying to elaborate on like this. From how I understood reading the chapters was Loki and I said Loki. They were only there to recruit Loki. They were just gonna get him and go back to Mary Joie type shit. Upon realizing that he's not gonna side with them and Elbaf has somewhat been pacified, you know what? Change of plans. We finna go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, subdue this shit right now. All of this shit is, all this realization and changing of plans and shit is happening within the span of maybe an hour or so. So I can't say that the forethought to have these kids draw out their nightmares and talk about their nightmares and shit was something that was planned or premeditated. You know what I'm saying? For this day specifically, because the decision to then go ahead and raid this place came about after realization once they got there. And on top of that, we don't know who was the actual extra that was supposed to, the extra could have been killing him or I take that back because I'm very sure Summers is replacing what's his name? Shamrock as the leader of what's going on right now. So killing him probably was the third person that Shamrock was like, bring me a third and shit. But I just don't see, I can't tie it in until I can tie the teacher Angie to Ja Rule type shit. 'Cause that's the only way it would even begin to make sense type shit. For me at least.
Well, I'm about to say for you. But yeah, I know how military functions work. Plan Bs are very, very, very much kept in the cut in the stash. Just in case it does hit the fan, in case we need to move forward with another agenda. That Plan B we were talking about, let's turn that into the Plan A right now. So I'm not going to count any military faction out when they decide to. The leader decides to, hey, this was the original plan. It's not going right. See how they were able to switch gears and turn on and get shit still underway so quickly because we had a contingency plan. So I definitely still hold that sentiment. They went over the nightmares today. Something is a little funny. And I only had this thought because I remember when I was on live with Reed when he was first something's off. Reed and Wayne on the Straw Hat podcast is like something's off. I don't know. She gave me these weird vibes. I don't know. It came out. It was from nothing at first. But now that
I think his question is ugly, bro.
I got a name to throw out right now.
Ugly. 9 times out of 10, the unattractive females in One Piece are like pops, original at least. You know what I'm saying? Now look, y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, bro.
I'm gonna throw out right now to correct you.
It ain't even much to correct for real for me. I just feel like, yo, it's okay
bro.
some shit like this always ends up happening. So it's One Piece. I always say it's One Piece.
I expected the turmoil though. I expected the turmoil at some point, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be remiss and not say this. I am all for Angie being like a part of like the plan. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm all for that. But you already know how I am about most shit, Nika. Like I just need the dots to connect. And as long as the dots connect, I'm treading that line all day. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I've been going over it. She's one of those people that believed in what King Harold was spitting on. So you know what I mean? So it's like, yo, he kind of fucked with gang already. So it's not. I'm gonna just wait. It's a couple more chapters. I need to see before I can say it's not looking good for her. She's definitely a prime suspect in the investigator's office. That's what I say.
Most definitely, and I think all of that also will revolve around how we see her begin to immediately feel about because again, this is happening because these kids worked on this shit today. If she had let them niggas do something else entirely, you know, Killingham would have to use some other method for his
go outside and be on the screen today, or let's do math 1, 2, 3. Nah, we gonna go over. We didn't talk about our dreams and like what we want to accomplish.
But would you if you're from a tribe who's related to a lost warrior race?
I'm just saying
that don't fear to the side.
We don't just casually go over fears in class. I'm just saying.
But would you if you're from a tribe who's related to a lost warrior race?
You wouldn't, bro. If we're moving forward from what we used to be, why would we go over the fears of what we?
But it's a line between fighting and having like confidence and facing.
At the same time, you don't want to just pacify them.
What do you mean? They doing it to themselves. They don't want their kids fighting. The kids literally telling Luffy and Usopp they don't want to fight. This is what Zaza's been talking about.
Like confidence and facing the fears.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about telling them not to be violent. I'm not saying.
Yeah,
I'm not separating them from. I mean, I am separating them from the mindless violence of it because there's a separation of mindless violence and knowing how to defend and protect yourself and stand up for yourself at the end of the day. And I think that's what at the very least they don't want them to lose.
I mean, that's fine, but why go over okay, this is what I'm saying. What are we hoping to teach these kids when they go over all these things that make them feel even possibilities?
Hey, yo, what's up?
I would ask you to explain that as a teacher, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember when I watched Harry Potter, right? And they had those kids do that same thing in Harry Potter, like when you go to the mirror, you're gonna face your fears and shit. I don't understand why that.
But they're equipped with magic and are currently learning spells to fully equip themselves with how to deal with problems, right?
But at the end of the day, you don't know what fear is about to manifest out of that motherfucker.
These little kids ain't scared of books, bro.
No, they should.
What are we talking about? Like this dude, the dude is legit. They're literally sitting here being fearful of things that they should be fearing. I'm not even gonna say they shouldn't fear these things. You should.
But isn't that a part of the problem? Because the nation is divided. Some of the giants don't want to be this pacified.
That's what I'm saying.
And they don't want the children to be pacified either.
So when a dragon pops out, read this book to it and it'll get right. That's what we're doing.
Problem because the
giants
don't want to be this pacified, and they don't want the children to be pacified.
Angie is on the side of King Harold. He said that already. So why?
I believe Ripley is also on the side of King Harold. I believe Ripley is also on the side of King Harold, and she still commends Carlin on good form when he pulled up swinging on Luffy.
Learning how to be strong. To think about their nightmares. That ain't her topic, though. I'm sorry.
That ain't. It's not her. It may not be her method of having them like learn how to face their learning how to be strong. It may not be her method. You know, I mean, you're a teacher at the end of the day. You know, there's soft methods, there's direct methods. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what the next assignment would have been after everyone done laid this out. It could have been now. Okay, now let's go over all your fears and first of all identify what's real and what's not. Like, we don't know where that was supposed to even lead to. You know what I'm saying? And again, like, I'm playing devil's advocate because she could very well have been part of the plan and the mission. I'm just saying we should have put all the eggs in that basket. That's
if we actually able to turn Loki and get him to be a guy's knight.
So I'm gonna harp on that, man. For sure.
Do you think all of this happens with the fears and monsters and stuff if we actually able to turn Loki and get him to be a guy's knight? Does it happen still or no?
It does still happen if Loki can't get the country behind him, and that's part of the problem. The country don't fuck with Loki.
Okay.
So if having them stand up to Loki is the thing now, because not we already know Loki's him. So not like everybody just standing up to Loki. But regardless, if Loki's the guy and Loki's still not able to get all the giants just move behind him, then we still implement this plan to get the rest of the country where they need to be. Because regardless of what, it seemed like they had this plan, bro. To me, back plan, forward plan. Regardless, it seemed like they had this shit.
Okay.
How we doing this?
Reese says either the teacher y'all was talking about, Angie, or Gunko is definitely a traitor this arc. I'm down with the Gunko theory. I'm down with that.
Reese says either the talking about Angie or Gunko is definitely a traitor.
And the goggles are a great
I'm down with the Gunko theory.
I've been with the Gunko shit since we met Gunko. Told y'all, since I seen the goggles, you're telling me it look like you're red. It's weird. Just wait for it. Literally 2 chapters after saying that, look what we get, bro. Look what we get.
What if she's a rev that defected and is full board Holy Night? My bad. Go ahead, Zach. Go ahead. I know you got some slander shit to say.
First of all, first of all, there's been no slander from this guy in all of 2025. All right, and I have been keeping my word.
Child cruelty right now. You're enjoying child cruelty, child abuse right now.
That's not slandering. That's not slandering. I work with kids. Fuck them. All right. There's a difference.
Never mind.
You in VR? Oh yeah.
You know,
congrats to you, my guy.
But I was just saying, you know, I'm not gonna stay on too long because you know your boys out in VR where the women are finer than the salsa they got. But I just wanted to say,
congrats to you.
Yeah, you know, I've been going around saying, yo, watch Straw Hat podcast on Monday, watch us on Sunday and shit like that. I'm just giving us love out here.
Yeah, get them VR streams. Hell yeah.
Listen. I got threatened by 3 Dominican women. Loved all of it. All right. They was like, Poppy, I'll take your tongue out. I was like, all I heard was Poppy. I ain't hear nothing else besides that shit.
Hey, appreciate you, G. Y'all know, have a good time.
I fuck with y'all. And the chapter was great because fuck them kids. And I said it, Colin was gonna take over. But I'm out. I see y'all on Monday, bro.
Best part of the chapter. Best part of the chapter, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't wait for bro to really show out. Never mind. Let me be quiet before I go on a rant.
What was so dope to me was the Straw Hats was like, "Bang, we need a ship. Like, give us a ship so we can help out." They're like, "Nah, bro, you're our guest. You just sit over here. You do that." They're like, "No, man, that.
I love the fact Colin was pulling that boat because what was so dope to me was the Straw Hats was like, "Bang, we need a ship. Like, give us a ship so we can help out." They're like, "Nah, bro, you're our guest. You just sit over here. You do that." And like, no, man, bump that. You handle the.
Wait a minute, so read the chapter already?
No, he's not to our knowledge, but he's in the comments.
Oh, this nigga, we done broke, bro.
Not really. Oh, wait, then again, I don't know what you fully mean by that. So never mind. I digress.
He used to never be involved in the spoiler conversation. Now he here.
To be fair, that's what I'm saying. To be fair, we've always had to kick Ree out. Like whenever we've always been like, Ree, we go over the chapter.
It's for sure the longest he stayed.
And then he'll probably hang around.
Definitely glad he's here though. He say he's not listening too hard, so definitely more than welcome.
On Sundays.
But
he doesn't normally.
I just love the fact that they was like, bro, we need a ship. They was like, no, y'all, I guess y'all chill over there. And they was like, y'all handle the kid.
He say he not listening too hard, so definitely more than welcome.
And they was like, man, but we still need a ship.
Yeah, I just love the fact that they were like, we need a ship.
Perfect ship.
Y'all, I guess y'all chill over.
A kid giant
y'all
ship.
handle the kids.
Colin's ship fits them perfectly. So for him to be like, yeah, y'all want to roll with me? That's cool.
And it was
but
like,
I get to be the captain. No,
what would be the perfect ship for us?
We giants.
A kid ship. A kid giant ship.
Piracy is in our blood.
Colin's ship fits them perfectly.
That's so hard.
So for him to be like, yeah, y'all want to roll with me? That's cool. But I get to be the captain though.
Why the fuck he even got his own? That's the real question. What? Why he got his
piracy
own, bro?
Is in our blood, bro. I love that. I was like, oh, that's so hard. He's like, come on, Colin Pirates. I was like, yeah, Colin Pirates.
Nah, listen. I actually lost it at the heave ho. I haven't read the viz, so I don't know if it said heave ho in the viz. But when it comes to him ranking that bag full of weapons, I say, yo,
like, nigga, you big enough to roll this yourself. Damn.
Say, who can't go?
I love this shit.
I do what I want.
Come on, let's go, Colin.
First thing they show us, bro, in the chapter. No, nigga, you cannot go. Next thing you see, he heave ho, big bag to the ship. They ain't going. I'm
a pirate. I do what I want. I fuck with my nigga.
I said, hey, that nigga, man. I want him on the crew so bad, but like, I don't know how that would work. I want him with us so bad.
Yeah.
Man, I still don't know how deep this shit can go. I feel like Otis will get really dark with this whole shit with Colin, but I don't know if he's gonna have it go that way. I'm gonna wait and see though.
Well, I don't know if any. Well, I mean, it's not like he can't be susceptible to, getting fucked up. He won't be under the same kind of condition that the kids is under, but because he ain't fell asleep or no shit like that. And that's the other thing. Like, how did the kids fall asleep? Is it like, was it selective? Like, were they on nap time? Like, I'm confused. Whose ability made them sleep? Because I don't think
that's gonna help me with the allegations. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. So she put the bitches to sleep.
I'm dying.
She put the bitches to sleep. And
that's a good question, though, Trip. Why is Colin the only kid without?
Just know that.
That's still away.
Just know, I just think this is suspicious activity. Very spooky dealings.
It is. We can't lie about
that's a good question. Trip. So why is Colin the only kid without? That's so funny.
No.
I mean, it's not just. He's not the only kid.
Why he's not?
Are you talking about the only kid with the boat?
You're right.
Not with them.
He's not the only kid awake though. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it was kids that told Saul and them like, "Hey, the other motherfuckers they sleepwalking and they I don't know why type shit." So there was some kids awake. Colin was just skipping class in general. He just wasn't there to begin with.
So yeah, there's that other little boy that told Robin like, "Yo, you're part of Lucy's crew," and he was like pretty much scared shitless of her. You know what I'm saying? So he was up to.
Yeah, because at first I was thinking it was like an age thing
and whatnot.
But if it is just that many other kids, then it does seem
why aren't there more kids awake? If that's the case, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because at first I was thinking it was like an age thing, but if it is just that many other kids, then it does seem more selective. Which is interesting.
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking a while ago, like, why kids' nightmares? Why not one of the grown adult giants' nightmares? And I think it's because even like as far as us, right? Your nightmares when you were a kid are different now. Like the type of when you was a kid, you was probably terrified of leprechauns. You know leprechauns aren't real as an adult, so that's not something you fear. What you fear is like real life concepts.
Right.
taking place, like losing your job or losing your house or a loved one dying. You know what I'm saying? Like those will classify as an adult nightmare. Like a nightmare for Luffy would be not being able to become Pirate King. A nightmare for Sanji would be him losing his hands type shit. I don't think Killingham would be able to materialize the nightmares of an adult, which is why it's specifically catered to children. That was my take.
I agree. I agree. This is why I think getting the kids to have the manifest, like to draw out their nightmares.
I was thinking that it would possibly be more difficult. Like the difficulty would range higher. The older the subject we pull it from, to like this scale. Like it's one thing that just like pulls off.
In that it could possibly be more difficult. Like the difficulty would range higher the older the subject pulling from, to like this scale. Like it's one thing
I think Trip is completely correct on what he just said as far as like the kids. That's why it's the same thing with Bonnie's fruit. You can't get it's not gonna work like that if you give that fruit to an adult. You gotta be someone with a child's imagination to make that shit come to light. That can someone who could think that openly in the first place. It will take a child to do that. It's not no adult is just gonna be able to do that unless they're childish already. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of how it is. That's how imagination works on the mind. So I feel like Trip nailed it, but that just feeds into why we need the kid. Make sure you're.
So would you feel the same way if they had?
You don't know which day
this lesson like 2 weeks ago, but they still had like they just had like the paintings or the drawings.
To me, it's just weird. It's just weird.
So would you feel the same way if they had this lesson like 2 weeks ago, but they still had like they just had like the paintings or the drawings still just?
I wouldn't feel the same way. I would, because especially if it's something we dealt with it already.
They did.
Like the kids had these nightmares. We figured solutions out to why they.
You're not wrong.
Why they shouldn't fear it.
You're not wrong.
But it's kind of just weird. They went over it just this morning.
They did.
That's fun. That's spooky. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. That's weird shit. Like, what do we do?
Not wrong.
Y'all just.
In Wano, were you
on
the train?
Why did you have my kid throw out their nightmare? Like you try to traumatize my child. I'm playing. I ain't trying to get that deep about it.
Label
but seriously,
Law
it is
as the double crosser. When I was
in Wano, were you on the train?
And it was like some spooky things. I was like, oh, that kind of could lead to Law. Were you on that bucket train?
The label Law as the double crosser when all this evidence was coming out, and it was like it's law, and it was like some spooky things. I was like, oh, that kind of could lead to Law. Were you on that bucket train too? Oh, okay.
I never was. That made no sense.
Okay, cool.
It made no sense for it to have been Law, and then you got Hawkins being such a dickhead to him in the prison, and Drake had to step in to get him to like. It made no sense. How is he the double crosser when he's still going through trying to get away from these niggas himself? What would he gain if he was double crossing? Him and Hawkins would have had a different conversation, like a real different conversation. To be fair, Law would have got brought to Kaido directly. That's how I figured. So I knew it wasn't a Law. Like, you see how they're telling you see how they told you see how Orochi told the Peyton that he said, yo, come to me directly. That's what would happen with Law. You'd have to come to me directly. You get what I'm saying? And we already did that with Apu. So I feel like that would have been not plot worthy. We kept going down that line.
No, fact.
I
was shocked when I just saw like so many people jumping on that train. I was like, damn, y'all really think Law would do that?
You know what I'm saying?
I was like, the whole reason we here
that would hurt. That would hurt him. That would hurt him so bad.
Like,
no,
the only reason I was shocked we were gonna go fight Kaido.
I just saw like so many people jumping on that train. I was like, damn, y'all really think Law would do
all
that?
This Kaido shit is
like the whole reason we here right now is because of Law, for real.
I
guess what you see.
The only reason we eventually we were gonna go fight Kaido, sure. But all of this Dofi shit, all this Kaido shit is because of Law. Why would he invite Luffy to do this just to?
But no, shout out to college.
They just felt redundant
to the ship.
To do that.
And we're off.
I get you on that.
Man, the oars, Colin Pirates. I'm rocking with Onward. Yeah.
But no, shout out to Colin.
My boy ready.
Bro, clutch came in clutch with the ship. Bro say, and we're off. Mandalore is
I think it
Tyrese.
kind of
I'm
like
not gonna
confirmed what everybody's been thinking since
Yeah.
like the very first
Talk to
panel
him.
of the meeting. Low key,
I do want to ask you. I do want to
like
ask you. What was your thoughts
presumed he
on
might
Loki
be innocent, and
Hadruden's
like there was more to
dialogue
the
last
story
chapter?
than that had been told,
I
especially from the
think
elder
it
giant.
kind of like confirmed what everybody's been thinking
Because
since
I mean,
like the very first
I don't
panel
think
of the
we,
meeting.
I don't think anybody
we all
just believed
kind
it
of
was like just this open and
presumed
shut
he
case,
might be innocent,
and
and
Loki's
like there was
evil.
more to the story
One,
than
because
had been
Luffy's a
told,
great,
especially from the elder giant.
but as for the readers, we know
I don't think
Luffy is a
don't
great
think anybody just
character.
believed it was like
Like
just
I
this
don't think
open and
he's
shut
missed
case,
once.
and
Usually
Loki's
when he
evil.
sticks his neck out on the
One,
line for
because
somebody, it pays
Elbaf
off,
believed it.
and they have
Elbaf
to
believed
happen to
it.
be like a
Yeah.
good.
But as for the readers,
So
we know
the fact that
Luffy
Luffy
is a
was
great
so
judge of
drawn
character.
on, no, I'm gonna go.
Like, I don't think he's missed
let him out.
once.
I'm gonna go
Usually
free
when
him.
he sticks his neck out
But
on
like
the
there
line
has
for
to be some
somebody, it
redeeming
pays off,
qualities about this
and they
person.
have
He
to
can't just be
happen to
like
be like a good person
an
somewhat.
evil guy.
So the fact that
that
Luffy was so
gonna have
drawn
to
on,
talk
no,
no
I'm gonna go
jutsu to.
let him out. I'm gonna go free him.
Like there must be
Like there has to be some redeeming qualities
something
about this
else
person. He
afoot
can't
that's
just be
not
like
been
an
brought to
evil
light
guy.
just yet.
That he's gonna have to talk no
So
jutsu
yeah,
to.
I'm glad we finally like confirmed it.
like
Now we can
there
finally
must
get
be
this dialogue going. Because I
something
feel
else
like
afoot that's
honestly,
not
this is a
been brought to light
conversation that
just
Loki
yet.
and Hadruden should have had so long ago.
So yeah,
Like,
I'm glad we finally like
because
confirmed
how
it.
long has
Now we can
Loki
finally
been
get this dialogue going.
shackled with there?
Because I feel like honestly, this is a conversation that Loki and Hadruden should have had so long ago. Like so, because how long has Loki been shackled with there?
But this is the problem. Hadruden is the one that don't want to have a conversation. Loki been down there for years. You could have came at any time and had this conversation. You never did. Because you bought into the bullshit that Elbaf has been spewing about me. That's why Loki called that. That's why that's was the very
what I
first
don't
thing
like.
Loki called out.
Hadruden should have had this
I get how
conversation
you
with him
feel,
at least
bro,
once
but
out of all this time. Yeah,
I
so
know I
long
dissed
ago.
your moms and
So long ago. You gotta at least
you
hear bro
you
peace.
really don't even want to hear my side. Like, I do got a 2 cents to this shit.
Hadruden should have
Facts.
had
I'm gonna
this
go talk to
conversation
him.
with him at least
Wow,
Like he's
out of
right
all this
there.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
so
right
long
there.
ago.
And it's
So
not like people
long
are just
ago.
always listening.
No one should be
It's not
able
like
to
he's under
tell me about my
surveillance.
brother if I
He's in the
have the means
woods.
to know about my brother.
Like you can talk to this
That's
nigga
just
whenever.
I'm gonna go talk to him.
So yeah,
Like
but
he's right
was
there.
tripping there. He
Like he's
definitely
right
should have
there.
been had this
And
conversation.
it's not like people are just
Coulda
always
had to-
listening and watching.
I don't
It's not
know.
like he's under
For me,
surveillance. He's in the woods.
I don't even want to make it personal because I
You can
don't
talk
have
to
like
this
a
nigga
blood brother.
whenever.
But
So,
regardless,
Jordan was
if
tripping there. They
the
definitely should have
king,
been had this conversation. Could have
your
had
father,
I don't know.
like
For
either
me,
one of even if those two things
I
are
don't even want
separate,
to make it personal
and
because
like your name is
I
in the
don't have
mix
like
of
a
it,
blood brother.
I'm gonna want to
But
hear your
regardless,
side, whether if it's
if
our father or if it's just
the king, your
what
father,
happened? What's your
if he
side of
died,
the
like
story?
either one of even if
Because
those
there's
two
no
things were
way I
separate
don't
and like your
confide
name is
to
in
you
the
at
mix of it,
all.
I'm gonna want to hear your side, whether if
And
it's
the
our
whole
father
nation
or
is
if it's
different
just
moving
the king.
forward now. It doesn't.
What
I don't know.
happened?
That doesn't.
What's your
I
side
don't
of the
want
story?
to say that's an
Because
error
there's
or a
no
mistake.
way
by
I
all
don't
this.
confide
But
to
it's
you
like
at
it doesn't
all.
make sense. Like you don't talk to this nigga at all.
And the
have
whole
one
nation is
conversation
different moving forward now.
after the
It
country
doesn't.
changes forever.
I don't know. That doesn't. I don't want to.
Like
I don't
what?
want to say that's an
But
error or a mistake
I
by
guess
Oda.
so.
But it's like it doesn't make sense. Like you don't talk to this nigga at all.
They
Y'all don't
never
have
got
one
along.
conversation after the country changes forever. Like what? But I guess so.
It makes sense in the fact that he never. Like, now that I know as a kid, I remember I wanted. It would
and
only
I
make
get
sense to me
that,
depending on
but
how they were raised together.
I feel like that goes out
Like,
the
if they were
window
cool as
when
brothers,
the
then
king
this wouldn't
died.
make sense. But if they weren't
Like
fucking
it
with each
wasn't
other
a
as brothers,
random
then this
giant.
makes a
Like
whole
this
lot of
is
sense.
this
That's
is
how I feel about
past like a
this.
family
And I get
dispute,
that,
bro. Like
but
the nation is
I feel like
different.
that goes out the window when the king dies. Like it was
No,
a random giant. Like this is past like a family dispute, bro.
but
Like
no,
the nation.
it adds more to the family dispute.
Did those siblings talk to each other after the
I'm
father
reading
died?
another manga right now where the father died, and now all the siblings are even more at disarray. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I said this is a common thing with.
Did
This
those
happens.
siblings talk to each other after the father died?
No, they don't. They don't. A lot of them go their own direction now that because some of them had it to where I wanted to do this, but I couldn't because father was in the way. And some of them were like, "Nah, I don't want it." Some of them were with father. Some kids are like, "No, I believe I can do better than father." So to me, it's more of those things that, and that's kind of where Loki.
I feel like it's one thing
he thinks he could have did better than
if
father,
Hadruden is there and he sees
better decisions,
like everything just play out and he
Loki
just
to say, "I gotta
knows
take this
okay
life
X
'cause he's
turned
bugging."
into Z.
So you know what I mean?
If you don't really just know what went down, and you're getting
if
information from
Hadouken
other
is
people
there and he
about what I
sees
did,
like everything just
nah,
play
nigga,
out and he just knows, okay, X turned into Z. But if you don't really just like know what went down and you're getting information from other people about what I did, nah, nigga, come ask me.
This is what I told you guys in the beginning of the arc. No one wanted to really know Loki's side of anything. Niggas is just going off of what Harald is saying. And if you listen to what Harald is saying, half of it, he's not even the one saying it. He starts, and if you look at some of the beginning chapters of when he's talking with the sword in his head, he starts talking, and before he could finish his sentence, people cut him off and finish it for him. And Luffy even had to ask him, is Loki a bad guy? Everybody screams, yes, he's a bad guy. Look at Harald when he says that. Harald is like, he's just looking at everybody like, literally, he's making a face at everyone's saying, literally on panel, he's making a face at everybody say Loki's a bad guy. He's like, the lines over his head of being surprised. Then he's the one that tells us when Harald and Loki were fighting, they were fighting to enact their ideals of the sun god. And you're like, okay, so I'm hearing sun god shit. Luffy is sun god shit. This can't be that far-fetched. This can't be that bad. He can't be that horrible of a person. Him or Harald. Harald is just being manipulated by the powers that be, the world government. Loki's more on the, nigga, you didn't raise me like this. You had horns in your head and you told me make the good decisions for Elbaf. So that's what I'm gonna do. The decision you making right now, this ain't good for Elbaf. So you gonna have to kick the bucket. You gonna have to bite the bullet, bro. I mean, Pops. You know what I'm saying? That's hot. I really feel like that's where Loki was coming with, bro.
I feel it.
Bro, this is the funny part about it too. Like, become cool with each other. That's what I want to know. So we have all this going on. How cool, how familiar with each other we were. At what point did Harald and the Holy Knight become cool with each other? That's what I want to know. So
Baldoni says, I believe he couldn't tell his brother because maybe the situation was so crazy. He just didn't know what
because I definitely think that could also
didn't know who to trust.
Baldoni says, I believe he couldn't tell his brother because maybe the situation
when the king
was
dies,
so crazy.
He just didn't know what
sideways. Go to trust. Didn't know who to trust.
Possible.
I feel that.
Possible.
I feel that.
That's very possible.
When the king died, what do you think the matchups are going to be for these fights with Summers and
I don't know who in on it.
Yeah,
I feel that. What do you think the matchups are going to be for these fights with Summers and other niggas?
Summers and Sanji for sure. I think Gabon's going to be somewhat involved in that. You got two old niggas talking about love heavy in one arc. It's hard to say they don't meet up, especially when kids is the goal of for the kidnapping, and Colin is a kid. One of these guys talking about love does have a child. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say that be a thing for sure. There are losers in this final saga. Kid, Law, Garp. You know what I'm saying? I do want to say that story has to continue. The only way you can just take an L and walk away. We have to take some type of L on this island. I don't know what L I feel like it means to the L, but we do need to take some type of L.
Probably
the has to continue.
No, the one that I've been screaming about for the last 2-3 months.
Happening for them. No, something has to happen to push them forward.
I feel like you know the L.
What?
Oh, you mean something massive?
No, the one that I've been screaming about for the last 2-3 months.
What?
Saul dying.
No, that's not to me. That's not an LL. I mean like an actual combatant L. Like we get to see an L, an actual like Garp is gone. He's missing an action. That's their W. That's Hachinosu Blackbeard Pirates W. I do think Holy Knight can take some type of W on that type of level here, where someone actually kicks the bucket if not kicks the bucket, they take the L as a combatant. Ken Law had to take
the L. The Straw Hat Pirates get an L.
You could call it a W because Kobe escaped. Great. He took the L. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like something like that has to happen. Holy Knights aren't panicking either. They're eating dinner. Yeah. So if not, it's just something the stakes are high, but they're not high enough yet. That's how I feel.
So what could be a sufficient L for the Straw Hats?
The Holy Knights aren't panicking either. They're eating dinner while the country's having havoc brought to it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're treating this very casually.
So what could be a sufficient L for the Straw Hats?
Like Garp dying.
I don't know if it needs to be for the Straw Hats. I just know it needs to be an
L. Wouldn't be an L for Robin too?
The side of good. That's what I'm saying. So like Saul dying could be an L for the Straw Hats, but that's really an L for the Giants.
It wouldn't be an L for Robin too?
Yeah, it's an L for the Straw Hats, but that's really an L for the Giants. That doesn't really affect the Straw Hats.
Okay.
That's like a pass.
Yeah.
He already did what he had to do
a sufficient L?
Robin alive so that she could meet us. So, you know, his role in the story was done.
I don't need it, but I mean,
yeah. So would Garp dying be a sufficient L?
He's about to be used. I don't want Garp dying, man.
I mean,
okay, so this about to be we about to run it back.
I think where we need his L
on the Ace retrieval arc, but this time we leaving with Garp. That's about to happen.
He's about to be used for execution and shit.
Okay, so this about to be we about to run it back. We about to spin the block on the Ace retrieval arc, but this time we leaving with Garp. That's what's about to happen.
We can say that. I gotta see what Sword's up to before I make any type of full-on projection to that. I gotta see what Sword's agenda is and what we don't know where Sengoku and Sword was headed. We knew they were on a ship. Now we don't know. The first time we saw them, they were talking about where's Garp. Hina told them where Garp was. They were like, oh, what the fuck? Next time we saw them after that, they were on a ship. Now we don't know where they are. Where they're looking. We know that Sengoku and Soru are up to something. They're gonna move on something.
Smokers who I expect to go do. Time out. I gotta verify that. How do we know they up to something? Because from what I was understood, Sengoku is just eating rice crackers still. Smokers who I expect to go do something.
I don't know what they're going to do. All I was saying is when they first saw Hina talking to Sengoku and Soru, she was telling them where they were at, where Garp was going. They were surprised as hell, and then the very next time we saw Soru and Sengoku, they were on a ship. So we don't know where they're going. I just know that they're doing something. So that's what I saw.
I see what it makes sense that they would. It makes sense that they would, because they would know Garp the best amongst all the Marines that are active. They would know him the best and ultimately know he has gone there to sacrifice himself for Kobe type shit. So we got to go get him out of there, because we know he like to give them sacrifice lectures, and he's finna go lead by example on that bullshit. They would know him the best to understand that was what he was about to go be on type shit. So it would make sense that, you know, he probably read the newspaper like, damn it, we were too late, you know, but still going anyway. I see Baldoni's comment, and I wouldn't be upset at them, Beppo swimming past the ship that they on while carrying Law. Now how do they handle that? Because Law is a pirate and these niggas are Marines. How does that go? You know, that's questionable.
I
ain't mad at it.
I think it would be dope.
Interesting. Sure.
It wouldn't go along with I would say the plot of what's happening currently. But
I think it would be
would be somewhat dope if
it wouldn't go along with, I would say,
the savior of Garp, just because I do feel like they've been speaking,
but
in the shadows.
It would be somewhat dope if Dragon has something to do with the savior of Garp.
Lovely.
That would not only would that be lovely, that would just be like the ultimate, like, the fuck you thought this was, nigga? That's my dad. You feel me? Like you know what I'm saying? Like almost like, you know how he saved Luffy and we ain't understand why, and it's like now we get it. It's like that's his son, nigga. The fuck you thought he was gonna do right there? So like now, like we know that's his dad. What I expect that man to pull up on a Dolo mission to go get that nigga. I'm not, and it would be perfect if Oda did it like that. He just goes to get Garp on a Dolo mission. because then we get a lot of actual dialogue between him and Garp in real time. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I can't. Older guy have the plans, so you know, I'm already knowing when it comes to me laying out shit like that. I've been proven, especially with how Wano played out, that no matter what my expectations are, I'm probably thinking a bit shallow compared to what older got going on. So, listen, Reed, you gonna have to chill out with that. With the dad emo, you know, with the questioning, what the dad shit, you feel me? That nigga Nika done got you on the wavelength. That's his father-in-law, not his father. You know what I'm saying? I'm not upset, but at the same time,
I ain't on no wavelength, man. It's a hunch.
True, but it's like I get it, because we seen how Kiros was willing to ride for Rika. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't my pops, but like, by all intent and purposes, you know what I'm saying? Without him, I wouldn't be the man I am. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I expect it's crazy because you say Luffy from Smoker.
And the only reason I even say that this could be a
fuck
possible
around and team up with Smoker to get your dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be beautiful to see on panel. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So it's not off the board.
And the only reason I even say that this could be a possible option now is because bro say he ain't making no moves until the Holy Knight's moving. The Holy Knight's moving. So it's not off the board.
I want to see how he moves.
Hold on.
I want to know how.
You know who could have put out that
chill with
information?
that, bro. Like,
I want to know.
No one has put out this information that they've moved.
You know who possibly?
You know what I'm saying? Like, news of what's going on in Elbaf would have to get back to them.
Put out that information.
They did it. It's not something that's put out.
What's her name? What's her name?
If she
Lilith.
is,
What's her name? Lilith? Ain't that her? Not Lilith. What is her fucking name? It is Lilith, isn't it?
Who you talking about?
I'm talking about Gunko.
Okay.
Gunko. If she's an actual Rev, yeah.
If she is.
If she's an actual Rev,
relay that message.
But you're going
Okay, so when I hear Dragon say we make our move when the Holy Lights move,
right, exactly.
I'm assuming,
and I'm thinking of the players that are actually in play at the moment. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
like,
not Gunko.
So when I hear Dragon say we make our move when the Holy Lights move, I'm assuming he also has spies. Even if it's not Gunko, he has eyes just out, just watching.
I assume that as well. But to know that they're making full-on moves means your spy has to be embedded directly in the system.
For sure.
Like, that's where Gunko does come. That's where the Gunko allegation does come from, right there. Because not any random Celestial is gonna have information about what the Holy Knights is doing. It would take a Celestial that's someone that's in the faction of the Holy Knights, if not of the Holy Knights, on the board of the Gorosei. Otherwise, you're not gonna have no information about this. Like, random foot soldiers ain't gonna have this information.
Random foot soldiers, no, but for example, right? We do know that there are some lower level individuals that were already sent to Elbaf that even the Holy Knights were like, do we have any reports from them niggas? And it's like, nah, the last reports that we got directly from them was seeing a giant crow. You know what I'm saying? So he could have somebody within those lower ranks, but I'm more so thinking the person, if in this type of situation, would you prefer to have somebody within the military ranks or within the actual home base as a fucking janitor or some shit? Or like is a Marine or is a cypher boy? I'm more of the mindset like if he has a spy in there, like I think he does, he doesn't have someone who's a spy that is a Holy Knight or like is a Marine or is a cypher pool agent. He has someone in the Holy Land of Merijois that's like a an attendee to one of the Gorosei type shit. You know what I'm saying? That is who his spy would be. And it wouldn't be hard for those type of people to garner information that can be leaked out. Like, hey, you know, you wanted information on when the Holy Knights make an actual move. Like, you know, Shamrock one of the commanders just returned and is heading back to Elbaf with even more forces. I think something is going on. That would sound like a more reasonable report from an informant than like spy work and all that type shit. Even if it's Gunko, it would still be reasonable. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of that is actually ever far fetched for real. But I was just thinking more in the terms of like true espionage and infiltration and spy work and all that type shit. You know what I mean? That's just where I was going with it. But again, once again, that information, folks, that info has to get to Dragon, and we have to see Dragon receive it before we say they made their move. You know, and you ain't doing nothing. We got to see him receive that information and know the information has been put out, and that hasn't happened yet because we don't even know the Holy Knights are in Elbaf. As far as like people in Elbaf, we don't. No one knows what. We still think it's a Shanks lookalike. We don't verbatim know like, oh, you niggas are Holy Knights. Y'all are the elite faction of the Celestial Dragons. We're not battling the rings with Cypher Pool no more. This is a complete new factor that we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I believe Scopper would be the only one to be able to identify them as Holy Knights because he has fought Holy Knights in God Valley. He would be able to, you know, the attire would be familiar. And for all intent and purposes, he probably already had a run-in with Summers because they don't look too far apart in age. If you really want to be real about it, like him and Summers they could be running the round two for all we know when they bump into each other. You know what I'm saying? So,
very possible.
Because you know how I feel about the darkest king that there ever was. You know what I'm saying? That man Garling had a hard day over there with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to digress.
I do think running between the two of those is inevitable. Yeah, you literally got one old nigga talking about love in the most twisted way, and then you got another old nigga talking about love in the most free way. So I do think a running between the two of those is inevitable. If it doesn't happen, then Sanji will be linking piece to the two of them interacting, if not taking over.
You even need to do it again. Like, yeah, it's a new Minister of Love out here for you.
But okay,
most definitely, especially if like this nigga already bodied Summers in the past, he don't even need to do it again. Like, yeah, it's a new Minister of Love out here for you.
Yeah. No, and the reason why I wanted to, I didn't harp on this before, but I want to give it some credence now is because a very specific question was asked to Gunko after we found out their preferences. She's listening to finally some Brook hype. The Brook hype I've kind of been asking this whole fucking time, and I hope it leads to more than what it seems to be here now. I hate that we didn't do the music thing with Brook and Wano. I hate that we didn't do that. Him and Naku should have been a conversation. More in Film Red should have been a thing. I'm okay we didn't get that if we get more through this. And him being the one to sell the tone dials, like that is a Brook thing. Now we find out, oh, okay, bet she's listening. She has one. She's listening to your song called New World. Great. Summers asked her a very, very intriguing question. So what's wrong? What's wrong with the world you already live in? Yeah, basically what he's saying is, you live in the world of the Celestial Dragons. We have our way. What you need a new world for? Why is she listening to that, you know? And Gunko actually has two meanings. It means child of war, and it also means war drum. War drum, music,
she focused not because she's an informant, but it's like
Big Sake. I'm seeing the correlation. I just need more from it now.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I would not be upset if she folds, not because she's an informant, but it's like I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm folding for J-Lo. I'm folding for Riri. You know what I'm saying? I'm folding for goddamn. Let me drop one of them pop. I'm folding for Aaliyah if she was still around. You know what I'm saying? I'm folding for Megan Good. The point
She's the
being,
woman that will get. She's just confirmed. She's the woman that will get Brooklyn.
exactly. That's confirmed. She will. As a matter of fact, I heard that she dresses the way she dresses just in case she ever bumps into the nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen fans talk.
So with that being said, it's like I can see that happening in a sense where it's like I can't attack them, or Brooke easily seduces her with music, and now like the directions go wherever Brooke wants them to go to, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see that definitely going that way, where she's no longer effective in what's going on because she's fangirling the fuck out over Brooke.
Like I already said on Discord, I was basically saying something on the same notion. Like this is what we're seeing from Killingham is the inverse to what Uta was doing. Film Red implications once again. Uta's able to put people to sleep and then bring them into the dream world. Killingham puts people to sleep and then takes things out of the dream world. I would love it to see if Brooke is the one who could wake up the kids with music or something like that. But it took music for them to fall. It took music for them to fall asleep. You see how Uta had things working in Film Red. Give us more
you say you do what to Brooke?
Let Brooke shine some.
That would
Do some more music. Like I've been
if
saying, I hate on Brooke
because if they put Brooke on the
plot for him to do more with. This is stopping the plot for him to do more.
You do what to Brooke?
That would be crazy if they just put Brooke on the loudspeaker. If they put Brooke on the loudspeaker and like she recognizes the song that's playing and instantly begins to like, no way he's here. But then again, like she should know he's on the Straw Hat crew because she just reported that the Straw Hat Luffy Emperor is here. So she should know he's on that crew.
I wanted to talk about that. I don't like what Oda did with that. Maybe I got to get more into it and see how it goes out more in the chapter, but I don't like that. The way that the Holy Knights know the Straw Hats are on the island is because they saw the ship while they were flying on the bird. That to me is like lame as shit. Like Saturn just died because he wasn't able to stop Joy Boy, and Saturn told us, we know they're going to Elbaf. The Vice Admirals are telling us, they're going to Elbaf. The 9 Vice Admirals are good, we could chase after the niggas on Cap, bro. Like, they going to Elbaf, and he's like, all right, you know what? Nah, dub that. We ain't going to Elbaf. We cool. Then
how would you like them to know? Through like present their hockey.
And now we have Holy Knights on Elbaf, and y'all. The only way y'all know that Straw Hats are on Elbaf is because y'all saw the shit.
How would you like to know? Through like
I was just about to say that
for the Straw Hat Pirates, they left Egghead on their way to Elbaf, confirmed that they're there. I want to see that. Like, with granted, I'm not saying that that's not what's happening either. We can easily get dialogue in the next couple chapters where they say, well, the reports from Egghead did say that they were going to be on their way here. But I need something towards that. I need more towards that. Just like a couple chapters ago, we were like, well, the kids can't be in that much danger. Just pull them out of the line. Then the next chapter, we see what happens when you try to pull the kids out the line. Oda, keep answering questions. I need that. I like when he does that. We have questions, we get in the very next chapter. Keep answering questions. But I need these answers, though. I ain't gonna lie to you, because it's weird. They were just at Egghead. We sent the whole Buster Hall. The 5 elders pulled up. All that. And then you're going to tell us that we didn't know that they were on Elbaf or headed to Elbaf? The whole point of...
That's true.
I believe that they knew we were heading to Elbaf. They knew... Well, I can't just verbatim say they knew we were heading to Elbaf, but they at least knew we left with the Giants. It'd be logical that we go restock and regather ourselves, when we get to their land type shit. So it's just a matter of the confirmation of just hopping on the tone down like, yeah, y'all were right. They ended up coming to Elbaf with the Giants type shit. But again, that might have been that report may not be something the Holy Knights are even privy to. Because, like, we don't... I say that to say, that report may go out to the Marines. Not necessarily Cypher Pool and fucking Holy Knights because of what they fucking do. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So it's just a matter of like, I don't think information is shared equally across the board within the world government. You dig what I'm saying? So that's just the only aspect of pushback I would give back on that. But it should definitely be reported back to Mary Joie that, hey, these niggas on Elbath. Y'all want to admit this in the bud?
This is a Yonko. We had the leader of the Holy One here. So I would want it to be like we should know something about that. You know what I'm saying? And just for the fact of how serious it was for them to be leaving, aka going to Elbath before, even Emu was like, why didn't you pursue them? Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of weird that we just not knowing that they're here already, which I do believe they can possibly know it. It just has to be revealed with the Giants. You know what I mean? Because as of right now, it's a little unorthodox.
I think it was a delicate situation because there's unfinished business with Elbath, for one, with the Giants. For one, and then encountering Nika was not part of the plan going to.
Oh, y'all seen that?
So even Emu talking about why didn't you like?
You better not.
Okay, Emu, why did you fall to your knees when you felt his hockey? Probably the same reason why I didn't go get the nigga, bitch. So we not.
You don't get to question that though.
No. I understand. He don't get to question that. I'm saying me as the reader. I understand why that information may still be sensitive just to be pushing out there. Because he himself may not want to actually acknowledge or just, you know what I'm saying, let people hear the fear in his voice when talking about Nika. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just a whole lot. It's still a delicate situation that's, you know what I'm saying, that's just now been, for us, at least on the world government side, the Celestial Dragon side specifically, right? It's a delicate situation that they're just now being exposed to. Like, hey, y'all gonna have to deal with this. I don't know how y'all gonna have to deal with this, but you gonna have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I imagine Gunko does not read newspapers. Is not in the loop of the news and none of that shit. So I imagine she don't even know Luffy is regarded as Nika right now. Cause she would be bugging the fuck out. Cause you've acknowledged the Straw Hats are here, and you've confirmed your greatest fear is Nika. Do you know that nigga is here? You don't understand. You understand me? So it's like
the lack of transparency between.
I mean, you know, that's always been a reason why most groups and teams take L. Lack of communication, lack of transparency within the unit. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of always been a consistent thing, and that's no. I won't fault Oda for that. I won't say he's like, you know, rinse and repeating, because that's, I mean, time and time again, that's how great nations fall. You know what I'm saying? Once there's a chink in the circle, you know, infiltration is easy. Disruption is easy. Everyone's not on the same page. Oh, we could fuck this shit over for real right now, because they not on the same page. You know what I'm saying? And you see that in sports, where the better team loses just because they're not in sync today. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so,
Baldoni says, "Talk your shit, Trip."
That shit. That sounds great, but I still want them to address that shit.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna kick that shit, dog. Tell Garland come get his rematch.
Baldoni says, "Talk your shit, Trip." You think
hey man, Rayleigh top 5 ain't 4 or 5, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna kick that shit, dog. Tell Garland come get his rematch.
But I want to know about this rematch.
Tell for Garland come get his rematch
today. You think Rayleigh take down Garland today?
You said what now?
He thinks Rayleigh fought Garland at God's Valley.
But I want to know about this rematch. Do you think Rayleigh takes down Garland today?
Okay. Oh, you wasn't there for my tier list, huh? Damn, you wasn't there. I got him right over Garland in the list, but you know, I'm not gonna get caught talking about this live. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna.
You worried about that now?
Oh, hey, look, it's a high diff.
For sure.
It's a high diff.
All right.
It's a high diff. It's a high diff. Bro, not just. Yeah, it's a high diff. Especially if it's a rematch, because then Rayleigh already not playing when he entered the fight.
For sure.
You know what I mean? He probably already triggered because he know what that nigga on for real.
I'm looking at this panel right now.
And then he probably may be kind of conflicted because he know that Shank's dad.
I didn't either. I had to reread it. It's crazy.
I'm looking at this panel right
now combined attack
of Dory and
does it ever feel
one shot in the ghost and the dragon together? I didn't even notice the
third time as it was the first time.
I didn't either. I had to reread it.
It's crazy. So like when you see them do this combined attack, does it ever feel watered down for you, or is it as great for you the third time as it was the first time?
It's not as great as it was the first time, but it's not like it's watered down. It's just it's the only attack we've seen from them, and we've seen it every time they do an attack, that's the attack they do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just want to see something new, something different. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of
lightning in that bitch.
You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, right? And it's almost always like it's their version of an onigiri or their version of a gum gum pistol. Like that's what they're going to arrive doing. That's what they're coming in there doing. You know what I'm saying? However, I imagine if the shit kicks off a tad bit more, they're gonna pull off some other great joint attacks. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like it don't excite me, but it just lets me know they're here. You know what I'm saying? And
I be getting more excited than I should because it's really not just like a crazy attack.
For sure.
But it's I guess because like it's so rare
every time they do it.
Because it's like it's the third time they've done it, but it's like
I feel like I'll be getting more excited than
third time they've done it in over 1,000 episodes. So it's
you
still
probably are getting more excited than you should.
Scarcity.
But it's I guess because like it's so rare. Because it's like, yeah, it's the third time they've done it, but it's like third time they've done it in over 1,000 episodes. So it's still.
Now let me ask you like this, because I feel like it's probably more so just how you feel about Dorian Broggie, because it's Big Mom's. It's the same technique Big Mom uses, and I don't think you get the same level of excitement when she uses it.
No, but if Big Mom and Kaido did it together 3 times, then possibly.
So if Big Mom and Kaido were constantly pulling out the Hakai, you'd be excited or hype every time they do it. That I can understand. You know what I'm saying? For me, again, I think it's just because it's the only joint other than the Sun Shield shit that they did together. It's the only joint sort of attack that we've seen from them, and it's like it would be one thing if we've only seen them twice or once, but every 3 times that we've seen them perform an attack, that's the attack.
Yeah,
I know there's more in your bag, dog. It gotta be more in your bag, dog. I know it's a fire move. I get it, right? But I know there's more in your bag. Show me the rest. I know there's more in there. Show me the rest.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like I said, we've been seeing the same shit since Little Garden. Give me some. At least put Black Lightning in there. I need to see something else done with it, bro. Like I'm not watered down to it because I just feel like it did its job the first time. I got more hype. Like I still feel better seeing it. I'm not, like since they pulled back up doing it, I haven't been more hyped seeing them do it than I was when I saw Big Mom.
Yeah,
shout out Baldoni. He understand what's really going on because my dog really just be on business on time, and I'm with whatever you with. You feel me? So he understand what the life is like for a Dark King. You feel me? So
feeling I've got from a combo.
No, Nika, I think me and you on the
who's
same
doing
there.
it and the strength of the attack.
Big Mom and Kyle
I think for me, when I watch Dorian Broggie
probably
do it,
the hypest.
I think it's just like a nostalgia
combo
factor
move,
like damn,
or like feeling I got from a
then,
combo
pre-time skip when they first did it,
sure, just because of
all
who's
the way
doing
to
it
now, and it's like
the strength of the attack. I think for me,
early
when I watched
One
Dorian
Piece, way
Broggie
back
do
then when
it,
we first met them,
I think it's just
I
like a
never would
nostalgia
have thought
factor
they would be
of
a
like
level to the story
way back then,
overall picture as they are today.
when they first did it,
So like
all the
seeing
way to
that
now,
move,
it's like okay.
it's like wow.
Early One Piece, way back then when we first met them, I never would have thought they would be as influential to the story or overall as they are today. So like,
you notice how
like wow.
against the Goro say they didn't use that attack.
They didn't.
on it? They did not. And you want to know why?
I believe it's the Conqueror's attack, and we weren't getting. Oda purposely didn't show us Conquerors being used on the Gorosei like that. Besides, outside of the Zoro flag,
I'll accept that. I'll accept that. However, my reasoning as to why Oda didn't have them use it on the Gorosei is because, like you just expressed right now, every time you see them do it, you're excited. It brings out hype from you. Had you seen them do it and it just bounces off that board that they tried to hit it with, it loses all its aesthetic.
Sure.
You dig what I'm saying? Which is why every time we've seen it done, we see it done on something that is of large scale, that is borderline defenseless, such as the goldfish, kid's ship, a fucking dragon, an imagination dragon, an imagination ghost that they're attacking from afar. You know what I'm saying? Like I need more out of their bag.
If they were to do it on that board,
I need to see this, like how it fares against a competent opponent. You know what I'm saying? Type shit.
Or like we get a new level of it if we
on that board against or any Gorosei member.
I don't think it's just going to be
the
basic
what Kezi's like
nostalgic
for. I think we get like an amp of it or some backlight, or like we get a new level of it if we see them do it against a Gorosei member. I don't think it's just going to be the basic.
I agree. When Big Mom does Ikkaku sovereignty, it looks regular all the time. But the moment she does it with Kaido, we get all the black lightning we need to see from it. You know what I mean? It's a different vibe when she does it with Big Fish. You know what I mean?
Now, what if they're able to perform the Hakai? I'm calling it the fucking No, nigga, the shit Big Mom and Kaido did. That's what it's called. It's called Hakai.
Conquest of the Sea?
I'm calling it the fucking Japanese language that it was called.
Conquest
of the Sea at the same. Yeah.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. That's what Coach is saying, though. Coach is saying it turns into something like that when you add in all that Black Lightning. If they are doing it against like a top tier, and the moment calls for it to like work, like it's not gonna bounce off, or it's actually an attack.
I feel like you're right. For Oda to give it to us in that fashion, we'd have to see the Ikkaku sovereignty fail for them to say, "Oh, we need to do that. We need to pull that junk out." You know what I'm saying? Oh, and gentlemen, I did want to ask, right? Because seemingly they just took out the Dragule, they took out the Nighthawker. Saul is going to be fighting the Fenrir next chapter, which is probably the fight that Chopper and goddamn what's her name Robin gonna get involved in. The motherfucker who said my mom's the scariest is most likely gonna pop up with the thundercloud, and then Frankie and Ripley gonna get busy with that. You know what I'm saying? And if these creatures are to possess the strength of the Imaginator, I'm like, yo, what is this dark-skinned Nika about to be on? Who is going to take that down? And I would love it if that's what Loki fights.
I would like that.
If Loki has to fight that and it's an actual fight, I would love that. I would love, or Luffy and Loki got a 2v1 that bitch. Oh, that'd be fire. You feel me?
If it's,
I would like that.
Wow,
if it's that strong,
I'm not gonna lie.
Wow,
and maybe I'm being a little
our capable straw hats handle the fucking holy knights that are present.
But I'm glad he's here because I would also like to get his
I need that.
Whenever he reaches
I need that.
But I'm a little surprised.
Maybe I'm being a little
I haven't heard Nika
on this. Possibly, but I'm glad
speak on the
because I would also like to get his
Thundercloud
whenever he reads the chapter.
In regards to Nami,
I'm a little surprised.
Shouldn't she be able to handle that like Solo Dolo?
Shouldn't she be able to take down? Speak on the Thundercloud thing in regards to Nami, because should she be able to handle that like Solo Dolo? Shouldn't she be able to take it down?
I definitely think she would. I don't
she
think there's need to talk
definitely
about
would be
it.
able to.
Before I talk about
Just
that being with Nami, I need to see that motherfucker link up with my mom first. I
right,
need that shit to happen.
right.
I need that
Got
part
to,
first. Give me that part, then we could plot progression,
got
right? For sure. But I need the
to.
first part first.
Hey, check this out. Even better, right? Give me that. Have the Thunder link up with my mom, right? And then have the fight with Frankie and Ripley carry, have Colin get involved, the Colin Pirates, you know what I'm saying? And then Nami got to get her hands on this goddamn the thing. I forgot. You just said the name Pandora.
Yeah,
Is that what it was called?
Pandora. That's what I said. Before we can plot progression, you gotta have certain things happen.
I personally have always advocated that Nami gets that Pandora. You know what I'm saying? Like when people were talking about how the Straw Hats get separated in the different realms and shit, I'm like, wherever Nami get to, wherever the Suf, I can't even say the word right now. The Muspelheim, the shit that's enraged in fire in Norse mythology. I was saying whatever represents that place where Elbaf is where the Pandora would be just going crazy, which is what creates that hellscape. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing to tame it. And that's where Nami would be able to, get that or whatever. But again, Oda has subverted my expectations and got these niggas running around with nightmare ghouls and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, yo. So
I was gonna say too. Like, I don't know. I doubt it can happen. The same way Hera tried to absorb Zeus, can absorb Thundercloud, Nightmare Thundercloud. Like, we don't know fully what this all entails.
Seeing that they can be defeated, Zeus should be able to devour.
But that's why I'm like, whether Zeus can do that or not,
it's not a real
I feel like
entity.
Nami should be able to subdue it.
Like,
with the
being able to devour it and take its
to
power and amp the fuck up from it, I believe so. Yeah.
But that's why I'm like, whether Zeus can do that or not, I feel like Nami should be able to subdue it with the climate.
She should be able to handle this alone.
Yeah, Nami, I don't think by any means Nami should get outdone by the Nightmare.
Absolutely not. She should see that shit and not even flinch. She should see that shit and not even flinch and fuck around.
It should be more.
There's a technique that she hasn't used in a while. She probably has used it, and I just don't remember her using it. But her
a weak opponent for her.
The Wind Temple.
That's the perfect.
She can disperse that cloud if she wanted to. If she, I won't say if she wanted to, but she should be able to make that cloud disperse because I believe her to.
Yeah, this should be.
I need her to enter her real Weather Queen era. I need her to really get into her Weather Queen era or her Weather Witch era, whatever the fuck. I need her to enter that at some point, and so. That'll be a good thing to go up against and prove your superiority over it. You know what I'm saying?
And like the
just how Nico was saying, it would be like a waste or like a mute point if Brooke doesn't do the music stuff with the kids and XYZ and like.
That's not what I said. Don't disrespect.
Hey man, but nah, listen. If Nika ain't say that shit, I'll say it. Fuck it. Ain't no shame in my shit. If Nika don't say it, I'll say it. It would be a waste if you don't have Brooke pop up there with his head on his pelvis like it was in that one chapter and just get the rocking out with the guitar, some good rock and roll, make them little niggas wake up. You feel me? Like,
able to handle this
solo dolo. This should be a very moment for Nami to not take this cloud thing on head on. I'm not even saying she has to be by herself, but she should be able to do this. So
do that though. Listen, having Brooke not have conflict.
Pooh don't even know about that.
knowing that Brooke,
Pooh has no idea what you're talking about.
They summoned Brooke because the Long Arm tribe was dogging them, bro. Then Brooke Brooke's managers. Brooke got captured by the Long Arm tribe. His managed Brooke's whole career, bro. All that. So it's weird.
This is probably why Oda didn't do it.
And have no interaction. Remember, Frankie is Frankie's dad, and they get no dialogue anymore. Just remember that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was just about to say, it's probably because them niggas that Brooke was with are probably the older brothers of Apu, and they couldn't manage Apu. Apu wasn't gonna let them niggas janky promoter him, and you know what I'm saying. But Brooke out here letting them niggas janky promoter him and shit for the time skip. So like, You know what I'm saying? It could be one of those things where, and I imagine the only reason why Odo is not introducing those plot points while we have it is because Frankie is going to interact with the new Mads.
I agree.
He will meet his dad eventually after all this.
It would make sense for it to happen that way. We just need
exactly. You know what I mean? So that's.
Link up. But first, we need Queen to link up with Judge and Caesar. For the Neo Mads, because they're not completely
the Neo Mads. My fault. I said the new Mads, the Neo Mads. Yeah.
Yeah. If Kaido really is out of the picture, what is next for Queen? I would say
I mean,
that would make sense.
Kaido don't even necessarily got to be out the picture, but like we know what happened. I ain't gonna say we know what happens, but this is just a typical example of a crew getting disbanded after a heavy loss and a heavy defeat. So the Beast Pirates are no more.
This is my thing.
It's just
Kaido out the picture and then in Zoro.
Oh, you bugged out, but I'm gonna let you live.
Kaido,
you bugged out, but I'm gonna let you live, man. This nigga that saw Shamrock with the Cerberus, and he's like, "Yup, we going somewhere, people."
My thing is, we don't even know if
I know you've been preaching it, but like once you saw Shamrock with that Cerberus,
and be like,
you was all right. Most I've seen you advocate for it, nigga.
My thing is, we don't know if Apu knows these niggas. This nigga Brook don't
matter. That doesn't matter.
So what's that got to do with me? You want Brook to be racist towards an entire species?
You don't need to know them niggas, bro. Brook know them niggas.
So
Brook is the nigga that's beefing with the Long Arm tribe.
You want
we know
that to be racist?
Kid told Luffy and told us why it didn't work out with the first alliance that was made. So I personally want to see, instead of seeing Brook run around behind Robin,
that's a feat, bro. That's a feat. You minimizing shit. That's a feat.
It's because y'all niggas keep promoting
standing up to Big Mom. Like people just do that
to Big Mom, like that really. Bro, we
got it. Did. Don't be like, because that like don't act like don't say no shit like we say that shit like that. Really, whatever you was finna say, it really did.
Because when we talk about Usopp, if I talk about one of Usopp's feet, Coach will be
no. You can't do that. What's Brooks? Wait, stop. What's Brooks?
That's because Coach toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like you supposed to ignore that.
To do what?
You supposed to ignore that. Like we ignore you in the book.
Okay, so Brooks' goal is to meet the whale. I don't want to hear that he's in the same boat as Usopp, whose goal is to be a brave warrior of the sea, and we talking about his feats from 500 episodes ago. No, they're on different.
Okay, so if Brooks' goal is to meet a whale, I don't want to hear he's in the same boat as Usopp, whose goal is to be a brave warrior of the sea, and we talking about his feats from 500 episodes ago.
That doesn't matter because of who Brook is, though. That doesn't matter. No. That's completely out of context. Brook is Brook used to be the former head and director of the whole militia in the kingdom. Then he was a stand-in captain. He has the same thing. You're not going to sit here and tell me that we're going to harp on 1 point for Brook the whole fucking series and not say, hey, so what else has he done? We're just going to keep going, oh, Big Mom, when he didn't even win the fight. Like, I'm not going to, I'm be real with you, that is a cool thing to harp on for one thing, but when you have other characters on the crew and we go in on this shit for 3 fucking different reasons, then we should be keeping the same energy.
You want Brook to be racist towards an entire species for what a few have done.
Tribe shit, the whole film red shit. I have yet to see somebody give me an actual rhetoric that shuts those points down. Like
there is none. There is none. No, there is.
You just told me. Hold on, Coach. You just said here. You probably don't even know.
You want Brook to be mad at a whole.
That shouldn't even be a thing in the world of One Piece. You don't have to know a nigga in the world of One Piece for things to connect.
For me to be racist towards these niggas?
I'm not talking about being racist. That has nothing to do with my conversation. I'm just.
You want Brook to be mad at a whole.
So should he have fought Queen too? Because Queen is a music nigga.
Do more. Is a Queen music nigga in Wano, and you are also a music nigga in Wano.
Not only is there the representation, there's also the representation. There's also the representation of like the different types of music that they represent. Classic music is always going up against the new age music. That definitely should have took place. We can't act like we did not deserve to see that happen in this fictional story. We can't act like that.
People don't even see it. I'm a rapper who has has these problems with Brooke. So this shouldn't even be a crazy thing when people say, dang, why cats don't like Brooke? Look at what this nigga's done musically, bro. Look at it. Like, bro, no, come on, bro.
Bro, listen, this nigga Brooke got the op right now at the dinner table singing the song that he bailed the tour on, nigga. He bailed the tour. He bailed the tour and his label debuting that song, nigga. And the ops love it.
That showed me that the ops love it. And that Oda has been a little bit on the back end with Brooke, because I personally feel like he's, and this goes to Zaza's point. Like
no one's answered my question yet.
Focusing on his prime Straw Hats rather than the other Straw Hats that are on the back end. So now he's starting to give them a little bit.
I just want to know,
and we're acknowledging it. But a lot more could have been done with Brooke up.
Thank you. My question was, Queen is.
What was your question? Let me answer it. I got you.
You might not deserve answering, bro.
I got. That's why I said I'll answer it, because I'm going to give him some sort of answer. He can't say it wasn't answered.
My question was, Queen is also a music nigga. So should Brooke have fought him as well?
Queen is not a music nigga. Queen is a showman.
You're getting it wrong.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Queen is
hold on. Nico, I said I was answering. Nico, come on now. Don't do this. Go ahead. You doing this to me, dog? Queen is not a music nigga. Queen is an entertainer.
Okay.
He is a showman.
Wait,
so you can't necessarily even put him in the same Brooke as Apu or Brooke. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or Uta. You can't put him in that same mix. You know what I'm saying? Because his actual theme.
Uta's not a music person?
No, we're saying you can't put Queen in that same category as Uta, Brooke, Apu type shit. Because at the end of the day, Queen's main thing is science.
Queen might be in the BET cipher.
You know what I'm saying?
But no, it's performing at the motherfucking Red
Carpet. Queen. No, the best thing Queen is doing is hosting the cipher. He's not performing in the cipher. You dig what I'm saying? He's hosting the cipher. Yeah, he's not performing in the cipher. He hosted the banquet. Exactly. A showman, an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? The definition of what an actual MC, not an actual rapper or an artist, just the mic controller. I'm going into the original definition of it. It's just somebody used to move the crowd, nigga on the microphone, just blurting nonsense to whatever's going on in the background type shit. You know what I'm saying? The nigga on the microphone that's yelling, I see the bitches go ahead and they shaking that ass. I see them shaking that ass. Go ahead and shake on that ass. You know what I'm saying? That's the MC. He just on the mic, being loud, entertaining the party type shit.
Right.
He's not necessarily the performer here.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying? Now that definition has changed over time.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? For the real, for the niggas that really got that mic control and hop on that bitch and destroy the bar and the show, you know what I'm saying? That definition definitely changed over time. I'm saying in its true essence, he's just a showman.
Okay.
You know, he's just there to keep the party lit.
You ready for this one, Cass?
Is you ready? You don't want to ask this bullshit, man. You know what's bad, bro. Y'all gonna come at me like the Brooke be in music all the time. I'm gonna say the same thing.
I don't think that's good though, Nika. Like you're very valid. Like this, you're very valid. I can't even sugarcoat that, because one of the main things I'll even tell you is that his job on the crew is not a combative role. It's a hype and fucking vibes role. So you should be involved in hypes and vibes, especially if an opponent's method of fighting is hype and vibes. You should have been involved there. I am all for that. Like, you over here drawing the music cliff note on some bitches that can't even hit them, that don't know nothing about music. Bro. You would have, if you had hit Apu with that shit, I think it would have still been effective, because Apu probably ain't, it's a difference between a nigga who can just make beats on Pro Tools and a nigga who know how to hit the drums and the piano keys and actually read the music chord. You dig what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like, Brooke should have sung that nigga on that type of shit.
Brooke shouldn't be one-shotting a fool.
Whatever noise, and then
you especially, because you minimize how strong a fool really is.
That's all I want to fucking see from the nigga, bro.
Then you're overly stating how strong you think Brook is. He shouldn't be scrapping
you especially because you minimize how strong Apu really is.
I don't minimize how strong Apu is.
Then you're
I think Apu's fine, but he's not all that. Zoro's one shot and him casual as fuck. That's my issue.
Yeah, like I think we gotta separate. You know, the hacks of the ability from the strength. You know what I'm saying? His hacks is okay. His hacks is that he's attacking one of your senses, which is hearing.
Exactly.
You can't. The only way to defend that is either cover your ears or go deaf. It's almost like a nigga. It's almost like a nigga attacking your sense of sight. Shit won't work on Fujitora because he's blind.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's attacking one of your senses, and no matter how strong you are, your senses will be attacked if you don't know to guard your senses. Like for example, that shit would have worked on
right now.
It would have worked on Kaido. Would Kaido have suffered the same damage? Most likely not, but he'd have still got hit by the shit. There was no evading it because his senses getting attacked. You hear me?
I was about to say that's the same point I was nailing on with just 3D wide. The Boa Hancock uses her level up.
I get that Brook's a skeleton.
Why isn't it working?
But we're all in this conversation right now, sitting and pretending like Brook still can't hear.
I can't see you. You're bad, but I don't know how bad you are.
I said I get that Brook's a skeleton, but we're all sitting in this conversation right now, legit pretending that Brook still can't hear, even though he doesn't have ears. He still hears sound.
Say it again. The audio.
I said I get that Brook's a skeleton, but we're all sitting in this conversation right now, legit pretending that Brook still can't hear, even though he doesn't have ears.
No,
he still hears.
He can hear. I just mentioned that jokingly. I didn't even try to argue that.
I mean, but at the same time, wait, because at the same time, right? Oda is consistent with the gags at the very least. Did Brook turn the stone because of Boa?
Did Boa use that ability on Brook? I don't remember.
It wasn't about using it. It's just about her being there. Like I think in the anime, I think he did, but I think it was a gag. I don't think that happened in the manga. And I'm only saying that to say that he don't have eyes. So again, that shouldn't have happened to him. But like it could have just been a gag or whatever. But if you go into the actual anatomy of the human body and shit, all like the eardrum and the ear canal and all that shit, all that is fleshy stuff, and he don't have that.
That's going more to my point.
I wouldn't doubt if
from the stone,
right?
It was due to
Brook is obviously attractive.
Brook can. Brook,
I don't think he
blind.
needs eyes to be turned to
He might not have these things.
I think Apu could damage.
If Boa could turn him to stone, which I wouldn't, I wouldn't doubt if she could, right? Because Brook is obviously attracted to her. I don't think he needs eyes to be turned to stone. I think.
I don't have a problem. Listen, Coach, just to speed it up, right? I don't have a problem with Apu being able to damage Brook off his ability.
Okay.
But Apu is still miles slower than Brook. So there, and we saw how that works with Zoro being able to outdo Brook. Apu. Brook's no slouch when it comes to speed. And
he getting hit with that arrow not slash.
Yeah, he's getting hit with that arrow not slash.
I'm sorry, not the arrow not slash. That 3-pace home. That's that 3-pace home. My bad.
Yeah, can Apu survive it? Yeah, he should be. He's tanking. He literally got one shot by Kid, one shot by Drake, one shot by Zoro, one shot got taken down by the Cypher Pool.
I don't think he's untouchable
when it comes to endurance and durability. So yes, he should definitely get back up for sure.
I don't think Brook should be stronger than Apu.
Like I think a fight with them would actually be a good fight. It would be. It would be the perfect. That would have been the perfect fight for me to say Brook is stronger than people give him credit for.
I don't think
if Brook would have beat Apu, I could have went around saying this without anyone giving me any type of pushback. Brook is stronger than we give him credit for. It's just like when we see Frankie. People see Frankie one shot of Vice Admiral, and they're like, "Yo, Frankie probably could have did that." And it's like, yeah, you say that, but then you go back to. I like to harp on this. You go back to Punk Hazard, and you have a Vice Admiral. You have Sanji telling us, "Well, this Vice Admiral would have decimated me if I'd have kept fighting him."
That wasn't. You know what I'm saying? We gotta add concept. The Vice Admiral in Punk Hazard isn't your typical Vice Admiral, though. We can't say that.
One shot of armament hockey.
We've seen them.
That was
Easy.
We gotta add content. The vice admiral in Punk Hazard isn't your typical vice admiral. Though. We can't.
You don't know what a typical vice admiral is, bro. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I hate when you bring this up because, for one, Smoker just became vice admiral at that time, so he's a new, fresher vice admiral. Where Virgo was vice admiral for a while, and he's learning these techniques from the Navy. So you can say whatever you want. At the time, Virgo's fighting capabilities led him to the rank of a vice admiral. So I definitely have, unless you're a new vice admiral like Smoker, I have people like Doberman, who's always put in the middle and being depicted as the strongest of the vice admirals. I always think the vice admirals I tailored into what I met Virgo as. Why not? That's what a vice admiral that runs a base should be able to do. Dahl runs a G14 base, just like what's his name? Just like Virgo ran G5, you have Dahl running G14. She's able to piece giants the fuck up. So why am I gonna sleep on vice admirals now? You don't like the vice admiral thing because they get shit. That's great. They're still an entity in the story. So you're going to use bombs and trash like that.
Nah, bro. There's just, baseless people who, because you gotta understand, right? There are certain people in the story, certain people in the fandom, right, that consider second commanders to be bums and trash and shit like that. Like they're weak. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta listen. You gotta take. You gotta tune them motherfuckers out, bro. Motherfucker will say.
So I can't just tune folks out. I gotta bring him to that point of like, bro, I need to get it because this is still a thing. That's why you have Sentomaru, a vice admiral cross guild bounty. Same thing for Bruce. Same thing for Kajaku. Same thing for Kobe. These are people that are of the rank of lesser than vice admiral, but they have vice admiral bounties to their name. That shows you the vice admiral. That's the rank that Garp stayed at. You get what I'm saying? Drake right now probably qualified. He qualified as a rear admiral. Like I keep telling you, if he was to get a promotion off of the exploits of Wano because it succeeded, he would be a vice admiral. But he's a pirate more so they might not give him a rank up. He might just be
that's cool
as a sword member, but a pirate.
We can respect it. But to Tripp's point, every second commander isn't equal.
Be respected.
So I don't look at every vice admiral as equal. They're not on the same.
That's Kobe and all the other niggas got to rise to that level before they can rise to another.
They have a base.
Point, every second commander isn't
for
equal.
sure. There's a base to that
every vice admiral is equal. They
don't need to be equal. They still to a certain. They still have to be on a certain level to be around.
That's still a tier that you have to acknowledge. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
It's still a tier that you got to acknowledge.
To Tripp's point,
I agree with that.
Past Tripp's point. So I need you to pull it back and just say, yo, because you don't look. Notice Tripp just agreed with me. Even with what you're saying, Tripp is still telling me.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with that too.
You
have to get to a certain tier, but I'm saying that tier has a base, and I think that the ceiling to that tier, it's only a couple niggas on that vice admiral ceiling, but it's a lot of niggas closer to the base.
You have to get to a certain tier, but I'm saying that tier has a base, and I think that the ceiling to that tier. It's only a couple niggas on that vice admiral ceiling,
not everyone's equal.
But it's a lot of niggas closer to the base. That's the truth. All I'm saying.
You could say that, but there's no real proof to agree with it.
The proof alone is that everyone.
I mean that the strongest vice admirals that are out there that are closer to that ceiling, we know about them. We know we don't group all of the nigga from Punk Hazard, the person you just mentioned, and Smoker with these other
vice
niggas.
admirals that are out there that are closer to the ceiling. We know about them. We know we don't group all of them. We don't group the nigga from Punk Hazard, the person you just mentioned.
The only real vice admiral we've really seen
group them above,
but we group those three together, not with the field. Every time we bring them up, we look at them as we trust no vice admirals.
Because
we don't look at all the vice admirals as equal.
But
we group those three together, not with the field. Every time we bring them up, we look at them as the crushed vice admirals. We don't look at all the vice admirals.
I don't look at it the same way you do. Like the same way I view.
I think they're stronger than Smoker too.
I don't view a young Smoker. I do think they're stronger than a young Smoker.
That's why I think they're stronger than Smoker.
Where Doberman been a vice admiral. That's why his jacket red compared to all the other vice admirals.
I think
that's the showing of it. Same thing from Momonga. He's a different vice admiral. I would say Smoker probably.
Smoker's
probably just a bit stronger than the doll we see right now. and that's because he got the fruit.
I think all of the vice admirals names I've also thought were stronger than Smoker as well.
So why I think that Smoker is not
we agreeing on things. You saying more things that I already agree with you on.
Like that to me is showing you better, even more.
I've also thought was stronger than Smoker as well.
Back to my original statement.
We agreeing on things. You saying more things that I already agree with you on.
Do you think that Usopp has a bigger feat than Brook taking on Big Mom?
Your panties getting a bunch, you know? It's a little crazy.
Back to my original statement, which was my question for you. Do you think that Usopp has a bigger feat than Brook taking on Big Mom?
I don't know, actually.
Pretty high level.
You talking about combatant-wise? I don't know.
I mean,
only reason I'm equating the two things is because you said we holding Usopp accountable for certain things and he's not doing XYZ, but we're not holding Brook accountable for XYZ. So
I mean, if we count movies, you got Bullet. If we count movies, you got Bullet.
I would be laying off way more.
We holding Usopp accountable for certain things and he's not doing XYZ, but we're not holding Brook accountable for XYZ. So what I'm saying is, if Usopp had that feat on Big Mom, I would be laying off way more.
But what feat on Big Mom was it?
Outsmarted her.
Back to the Brook point. What feat? What is the actual feat?
Lived after scrapping with
that
her.
He stood up to her. If you want to say outsmarted her, cool. That is the only thing I will settle for. And that's the IQ point more than the actual that wasn't even a battle point, and that's the espionage. That's not to Brook battle IQ because Brook did that before even fighting Big Mom. So that doesn't even fathom in that point. Doesn't lead into the other.
He did what before fighting Big Mom?
He outsmarted her before he even fought her. So I wouldn't count. I wouldn't
put
these things in contingency. I wouldn't.
It's the principle. He didn't have to win the fight. He's not supposed to be winning that fight regardless. Usopp shouldn't be winning that fight.
Either way, he had to. So it didn't matter.
It's the principle. He didn't have to win the fight.
Living to tell the tale that you fought a Yonko.
If you're just giving him the IQ point of being able to have the poneglyphs, and he outsmarted her, outwitted her, then that's cool. I don't really put that in. That's not Usopp. Espionage is not Usopp's thing. So
if Usopp fought a Yonko,
I would compare that feat that Brook did. I would compare that to a Robin feat because Robin does espionage. Sanji does espionage, not to Usopp. That's not his department. When I talk about the feat of what he did and how people talk about it, comparing it to even Usopp, we harp on is I'm saying
got a different destination.
For Usopp has done a few things. Cool. Whether he meant to do it or not, he got it done. Sure. We don't glorify and talk
not
about
me
him in the same light as when we talk about Brook for that one feat he did against to me, breaking the people forget to mention that he broke the picture of Mother Carol. Like people remember that last minute and be like, oh yeah, he also broke the picture of Mother Carol. That's once again, it's another espionage feat. Cool.
Fought a Yonko and lived to tell about it. If Usopp were to fight any Yonko, any of them, literally any of them, and live to tell about it, he would get points from me.
Brook done for me to say, yo, 1v1, Brook is doing something.
Fought a Yonko, live to tell about it. If Usopp were to fight any Yonko, any of them, literally any of them, and live to tell about it, he would get points from me.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, Coach. Hold on.
Be in front of Yonko and then get clocked.
Hold on, bro.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
At the end of the day,
okay,
bro.
At the end of the day, bro,
you can't even the scenario.
At the end of the day, you can't even say the whole he
y'all
lived
both
to
talking.
tell
I
about
can't hear
it.
you.
Bro, dead already. First of all,
Yo, ho.
First of all, he's dead already.
And this is why
Hold on.
I disagree.
I got one more nail in the coffin. I got one more nail in the coffin. I got one more nail in the coffin. Usopp actually got a greater feat than Brook.
I disagree.
And I'll
talk about it.
I'll tell you about it right now, right? Because at the end of the day, right, Brook is carrying out an order. Brook is carrying out an order at the end of the day, right? Follow me here.
I don't think that matters.
Brook ain't responsible for burning down a government flag. One, and Usopp is the reason. And Usopp, that was an order, shoot down that flag, and Usopp shot down that flag.
Yeah.
It burned. We saw that. All right, now.
Sure.
It's not huge, but it's a big feat still.
And then, if not for Usopp, solely for Usopp, Robin was gone. Robin was gone. She was out of there. She was past them gates. If not for Usopp, she was past them gates, bro. She was gone.
That's a huge feat.
She was gone.
The Big Mom and Brooke.
Acknowledge this, folks. Acknowledge this, coach.
So before we continue, do y'all not believe?
If not for Usopp, she was past them gates.
Before we continue,
I think
do y'all not believe that Big Mom could have
to become her
killed Brooke if
skeleton
she wanted to?
That's great.
Wait, so
All right, so I don't want to hear the
y'all.
He's already dead shit. Then
He didn't
put
do
that out the
anything,
window.
bro.
Big Mom could have
Before
still
we
killed him.
continue, do y'all not believe that Big Mom could have killed Brooke if she wanted to?
Yeah, she wanted to.
My point is to
I
Trip. I don't want to
added to
hear
the
her throw that
collection.
away
He was
that he's
rare.
already
That out
dead.
the window. Big Mom
Because he
could have
still
still
could've-
killed him.
Okay, your point.
Tell me why.
Your point.
Yeah, that don't hold. That don't hold because
That only
Coach,
holds
that don't hold. Hold up, Coach, that don't hold. Because your first thing was no one would live to tell about it. Like Usopp wouldn't live to tell about it. Brooke was already dead, for one, and then for two, she did whatever she did what she wanted to do with him at the end of the day. Like he said, no. I didn't want to kill him. I wanted to add him to the collection. Bro,
if Brooke
Shorty took a whole nap with that nigga. She took a whole nap with that nigga, and he had no choice.
Okay.
If Brooke would have stopped her from killing him, to where it wasn't that
He had no choice.
It was,
bro.
He survived off
Okay,
of her
that's fair.
whim. It wasn't like Brooke stopped her from doing that, bro. Like, oh, she couldn't have killed me because I'm like that, or because I stopped. No, she chose not to kill you off her own whim. She could have killed you. It's like Sasuke when he walked away from Naruto,
That's fair.
Sakura, and Yamato when he first met them in episode 50 and Naruto shit. Nigga, I could have ended all y'all lives right now. I left because there wasn't time for that right now.
No, I'll give you that. That's fair.
That's all, bro. You weren't the reason I didn't make the decision. What did Doflamingo said? When you're weak, you don't get to choose how you do. Nigga, stop playing with me, bro. Nigga, Coach, come on, man. Why we doing this, bro? Like, I fuck with bro. This is a crazy thing, because I actually fuck with Brooke. I think the beginning of this live session shows you that I fuck with Brooke. I went to talking to Brooke and what I want to see from him and what I expect from him. All my discernment from Brooke come from.
Why you don't have that same energy for Usopp then? Why you got patience for him and be like, okay, no, I can wait.
Did against Oars, support the Straw Hats back and throw the bark is what he did against Big Mom. And just like it with Oars, none of that shit fucking matters.
Why you don't?
That's all.
Same energy for Usopp then. Why you got patience for him?
I do.
Like, okay,
I do have the reason. There's two reasons why. One, Usopp, I expect he has to amount to something eventually. He started off as a coward. Two, he didn't have Brooke's backstory. Brooke was a former fucking captain, vice captain, and was a leader of a convoy in his kingdom's militia. I'm going to hold you to some type of. You got to show me something decent, bro. I respect Jinbei. That's the reason I respect Jinbei is because he was the leader of the Royal Guard in Fishman Island.
Those points are valued differently, though, bro. Jinbei doing what he's doing, where he's doing it matters.
So I'm going to
doing it with these weaker class. It's not equal. What Jinbei's doing isn't equal.
The points are valued differently, though, bro. Jinbei doing what he's doing, where he's doing it matters. Brooke is doing it with these.
We give him most improved.
It's not equal,
bro.
Doing equal.
I think what Brooke doing it is fine. I don't. Like
but he's supposed to
give Brooke the fucking championship.
He's the seventh man on the roster.
We give him most improved.
I don't know
because he completed his mission.
Durability, like no nigga, he got cooked.
But he's supposed to get cooked. He's the seventh man on the roster.
So why am I celebrating a man who's supposed to get cooked?
Because he completed his mission.
On a
combatant.
How did Brooke get out of
alive to tell about it, nigga? Yo ho ho, nigga. Fuck you, me.
This is crazy. This is actually crazy. Like you guys. You guys giving combatant points to Brooke when he didn't do shit. Yes, espionage, give him all the fucking glory. But combatant-wise, he ain't do nothing. The fuck? I'm not giving him no credit for that. I'm sorry. I just can't, bro. Wait. He's pinned because he outsmarted a dumb bitch before the fight began. No,
I'm
sorry, bro.
To sum it up, ultimately, like when you ask who has Brooke beaten, you can't name no one worthy of note. And that's all that it ultimately comes to. And it's not necessarily a diss. It's just like, nigga, we waiting to see. So until we see, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree with you. Me personally, I don't think he could beat up
when you show us. That's all.
And to add to Tripp's point, all I'm saying
No,
is
fact. I'm with you. I'm saying I would never say that because I don't see that in him.
Agree with you. Me personally, I don't think he could beat Apu.
I never said he could beat Apu. I said if we
I think he can.
No,
I said
I think he can.
I'm saying
I would
just off the strength he was a supernova or worst generation. I don't think he could.
Oda never even went down lines of saying Oda never even learned what the topic is. So I don't even know what to say about it.
But I'm just saying, bro. And we got I know the classical tunes to play. I don't know, man. I understand Puna make that beat drop, but nigga, the strumming this guitar, it get different. I'm just saying.
Worst generation. I'm looking at him
if we got introduced to Apu in a different light and they didn't introduce him as a worst generation character, maybe I would think about it like that.
That's like saying somebody's the ninth man on the NBA roster. It's still the NBA.
And the eighth man on the roster can hang with him.
Apu is the Brook
because the ninth man on the NBA roster. And
that's fine, but it's still the way. That's like saying somebody's the ninth man on the NBA roster.
The ninth man in college cannot hang with the ninth man in the NBA.
Like, I don't see why.
Because the ninth man on the NBA roster.
It can't be too uncanny to say that when they're both looked at in that.
How?
The ninth man in college.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, Coach. What you just did right there is place even more of expectation on Brooke by doing that.
How?
Thank you. He doesn't ever get. I've told him this before.
I'm not gonna hold you. Not ain't gonna love. You just say he's the equivalent of like what you say one of the worst generations, or the like what do you say, the one of the worst of the worst generations? Who said that? Was that you?
It was me that said that. It was me that.
Sure.
Apu is I said Apu is the Brook of the worst generation.
Okay.
He said that. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you're gonna say, I agree with that. And for me to also say, for me to put Brooke in that kind of a light, it makes me have to have more expectations for Brooke. That's what I meant to say.
Yes.
Because if you put it like that, it's like, yo, these niggas were former captains. These niggas were up until Wano running around still having a 1v1 on each other.
In the worst generation.
Wano, that's what we had a good time in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Well, in Whole Cake, fucking Capone had a whole little scheme already. No, he wasn't carrying out someone's order. Hold on, wait a minute. He wasn't carrying out anybody's order. That's what he was there for. You know what I'm saying? He was already making headway. You know what I'm saying? I be trying to just let, like, now in my light, I'm like, yo, Brooke is just meant for vibes on the crew, man. Let Brooke kick back,
worst generation.
You know what I'm saying? Strum the guitar, see some draws, you feel me? Like, we kicking it. That's how.
All right, Trip, I got a question for you.
In that light of like, oh, he needs to be fighting one of the motherfucking Toby. That would have been nice though. But that would have been nice because I know he could have. As far as I'm concerned, I know he could have.
Trip, I got a
question. Him and Apu would have been nice for me. Him and Apu would have been lovely for me. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's wrong of people to have that expectation of Brooke.
What are your expectations?
But at the same time, it's we can't just be like, it's not. I can't expect everyone to have my expectations of Brooke. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, he should be showing more. He should be showing more. He should be showing more, and he shouldn't be doing any slack.
To you and Coach, I want to ask y'all both a question. If Usopp had the background,
depends on the type of crew.
Usopp, to where they were on a former crew, they used to be the former head of a militia. All of that, would y'all not hold more? Wouldn't y'all expect more from Usopp?
Depends on the type.
If Usopp was the former captain and vice captain of a crew, a good crew, on top of that was from his homeland. We were told that with the militia of his homeland, the military of his homeland, he headed the sniper division, or he headed the whatever. Wouldn't we expect more from him? For everything we've seen in Usopp in the show right now, if he had a background of being a former captain and vice captain and was the leader of the was a leader in the shooting division, military division, whatever, wouldn't we expect more from Usopp?
Of course. And I already expect more from Usopp to simply like more from him. This nigga was already, on some Captain Usopp shit when we met the nigga. So he has no right to be on this bullshit he be on some type of damn time. Like, we supposed to be in here.
He was damn near a teenager playing Imagination Land with little kids about piracy. But he's a real pirate, a real captain and vice captain. And was like the village had an actual a guard, a military guard, and he was the captain of that, or was at least the leader of the shooting division of that, of all the marksmen. Wouldn't we?
They know what it actually was. That's why I'm trying to say he actually was that.
And right, but it wasn't taken seriously because it was joking. He didn't command any men. He didn't really have a real crew. It was all just him being imaginative. If he had those things, would he not take him? Wouldn't we not expect him to be a little bit more a bit better handle?
What's the nigga on Law's crew?
As a matter of fact, I'll put to you straight like this. Oh,
so then when Brook is in that position, why would I not have those same expectations for Brook?
Let me answer that for you.
Exact that you wouldn't even exact that.
What's the nigga?
So my thing is just how you brought up Jinbei. I give
John Bart.
Like I said, I think the value of these points we giving out.
My favorite art. Favorite art.
My thing is just like you brought up Jinbei. I give Jim. Like I said, I think the value of these points we giving out for giving positions.
I give Jinbei more points for being the leader or the vice captain or whatever the first thing to see of the entire mermaid kingdom or fishman, whatever. Because I know Fishman,
I give Jinbei
base level of strength, and they're being the leader of strength
or the vice
way
captain
stronger
or
than the majority of other niggas, right?
Of the entire
Brooks,
mermaid king or fishman, whatever.
Brook wasn't on no super strong crew. He was on a musical crew.
And the crush of strength is way stronger than the majority of other niggas,
bro.
right?
I don't give
Brooks.
I give Brook like
Brook wasn't on no super strong crew. He was on a musical crew. All these niggas were music niggas. These were not no niggas to be feared, bro.
What we're crediting to Jinbei, so he doesn't get the same points as Jinbei.
The mental points, or like the leadership points, but it wasn't a strong. It wasn't a crew.
If Usopp had that same status,
crediting to
Jinbei, like the Jinbei level underlings
as Jinbei.
Sure.
So
I would look at Usopp.
I don't hold him to the same credibility as Jinbei,
for sure. But
it doesn't gotta be.
If Usopp had that same status with like the Jinbei level underlings, for sure, I would look at
harping on the Jinbei underlings. No one's harping on that. All I said is that he had the credibility of. All I said was that he had the credibility of the past. Like he was the leader of this. He was the leader of that.
Do you think Fujitora niggas that were under him?
Because that's what I do for. That's what I do for Fujitora. That's what I do for Jinbei. I do that for all of those men. Because it takes a captain level mentality to be able to get in.
Do you think
Big Mom's territory and do what Brook did as far as stealing the point of it? All the hard.
Do you think Fujitora's underlings were stronger than Brook's underlings?
I don't think we should keep harping on the 1-1-1 that discredits
when
you
just brought up. Do you?
That's what I keep saying. I don't.
The underlings do you think underlings determine how strong the overall
stronger than Brook's underlings?
What do you
I'm not giving Brook points.
Cokes. What's your
the underlings determine how strong the overall.
Okay, but you're asking me the question of how I would value
underlings. I have no prior knowledge. I have no knowledge to know how strong Jinbei Brook's hometown. How strong they were.
You're good now.
But
I'm saying you asked me.
Hey, excuse me, gentlemen. Excuse me. I just had to switch the Bluetooth. I imagine that was me echoing.
I'm telling you.
Has there been echo for a little bit? Because I muted it.
It's been gone.
But I'm saying you asked me a question about how I would perceive Usopp if he was giving these titles. I'm telling you, my perception perception changes based off of the strength of the people you're leading.
But that's
If
the
you're
point. They're
leading
weak as fuck. I'm not looking at
I don't
Brooke
think
to
you should
fight.
harp on that because in the East
I'm
Blue,
not looking
we're
at
in the
Brooke to
East Blue.
fight
Them niggas is
worst
weak as fuck.
generation
So I wouldn't
niggas.
harp on the exact power level or the strength of the men
But
they're
that's the
commanding.
point.
I just said for the
So
simple
I'm not
fact that
looking
they're
at
able
Brooke.
to command men is what I'm talking
I'm
about.
not looking at Brooke to fight
Right.
worst generation.
Like that's what I'm trying to
Go
understand.
for it.
Why Coach keep talking about the individual strength of the father that
Yeah,
they're
like Coach,
commanding.
you're
What are
not
you doing?
Coach.
That's
Coach, I think you
irrelevant.
gotta. Coach, let me like hold the floor for a slightly second.
Go for it.
I think ultimately this is what it's all coming down to. This is what you're trying to explain, Nico, but like I guess it's not landing properly with Coach. It's not about the strength and all that shit. It's what where am I going with this? The shit we saw from him when he actually stood up to Kuro with Usopp. We have not seen that from him since then. It's very rare, and it's like in so many minute moments that it really even counts. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with Brook. Like that gusto he showed against Ryuma has not been seen since, and that's why like the little shit that we see here and there,
What would Frankie do with
Shit that happened with Perospero, you would not like you what that would not happen with Frankie, but Brook is put in the same conversations with Frankie. You get what I'm saying?
Frankie do?
Like,
That's crazy.
you know,
I don't know.
he had some form.
I don't know if that's
like
true.
that. We wouldn't have lost Pedro fucking around.
Okay.
Yeah, I went there. We wouldn't have lost Pedro fucking around.
Go there.
Which like that's ultimately what I'm
I don't know
saying.
if that's true, but I'll go with you.
That's just ultimately what I'm saying. Like Brook is put in the same light as like again, you have Frankie come through with the goddamn. He pulled up on Big Willie on Big Mom. You know what I'm saying? And Brook is in that scene with him. And like, you know what I'm saying? He's put in that same like, you know, positioning of the light of. Like even then in the anime, beautiful segment in Wano where like the people who fight are fighting. And then the coward trio are behind there cowering. You know what I'm saying? And Brook is put in that segment. But does he really deserve that segment? Because he hasn't really been showing what he's doing in that segment. It's almost like, nah, that's a fluke. You don't really get down like that. I ain't seen it in a while. But guess who? All these fathers, that don't really count. That's ultimately what we're saying. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And to some people, it just count a bit. It counts more for them. And that's where like people like Nika come in, where it's like, yeah, I need to see more of that. Like it's good when you put it in these little spots, but like I need more. Someone like me, I don't need more. Someone like me, I don't need more from Brook. Someone like me, I don't need more from Brooks. I enjoy him enough. But some people just need more because they enjoy that so much, they need more of it. You know what I'm saying? So I think ultimately that's just what it is, bro. You know what I mean? Like it's that characteristic, that shit that you was on when we met you, that made us fall in love with you, that made us like, yeah, bring him on board.
So listen to this.
You know what I'm saying? You've kind of been falling short a lot lately. You've kind of been falling short. You've had your moments, and we give you those. But like, you know, you've been falling short. Like we can't, we giving you you made the assist, but like, come on now, that wasn't your layup.
And I
you know.
This is why we're getting down. Why are we talking about tone dial sales? All the way back that this happened because Oda's starting to cook.
I love that you just said that because I love that because again, even just like that conversation they had at the dinner table where Summers even threw that little snub like, what you mean you don't like the one we live in? Like, yeah, that's all just you niggas. Don't ever forget. That's a diss to you niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's so King Brook. This is you niggas.
And I love it.
You feel me?
What is something
like you know what I'm saying?
I've always said. I said we need to get more. Fuck those one that I've been talking about because, like I said, before
that's why
I need to get Brook in music. That's what we're getting. That's what Oda's starting to do. Somebody's.
And you know what's so beautiful? And this is what I'm saying. Like he's getting a point for that. And it count, and it don't need to be a combative point. And it's
and that's a strong point.
Please let me get my retort.
That proves to me that if anyone has ever questioned how I look at Brook, this call, this live, if you witness this live, this should kind of explain to you what I'm expecting from you.
Please let me get my
lore to you. There's too much lore behind music and in One Piece for you to not give us more with music in One Piece. Sorry, Oda, I need more, and he's starting to give us it. So I'm feeling good. My questions are, like I said, I like when I can have when I see a chapter and it makes me ask a question, and then I get the answer to my question the next chapter or two. I like that.
Please let me answer one of your questions.
I'm in the right realm of asking questions.
The question that I was originally given was,
he has answers for it.
If Usopp had a background with this title, please let me answer one of your questions. If he had a background with this title, I was originally given was blah 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 XYZ. If do I hold him to a with this title? Do I hold him to a higher standard and give him a background expectations? This title for y'all, clearly we didn't have different perspectives on how I
these accolades.
If someone hold him to a higher standard, the vice captain of the Redhead Pirates expectations tells me, hey, I was the vice captain over here. I did this. Clearly, I have certain expectations on how we view this. If for the vice captain of the music pirates tells me, hey, I was the vice captain of the Redhead Pirates, there's only so far expectations I have. The vice captain over here, I did this. I have certain expectations for him. If the vice captain of the music pirates tells me, only goes the vice captain of the music niggas. So that's why there's only with the Usopp thing expectations I have for you. With the Usopp shit,
like what? You was a vice captain of the Foxy Pirates?
Like background.
The fuck does that even mean?
Far.
I understand what you're saying.
I understand what you're saying. That's why the strength does matter for me. Usopp shit, because if you're the vice expectations might change because Usopp doesn't have any like background so far. But if you're the vice captain of some expectations only go so far depending on who he's the vice captain of. That's why the strength thing does matter for me. That's not how I look at it. Because if you're the vice captain of trash ass niggas, no real ass niggas, that title don't even matter to me. But if you're the vice captain of some niggas, I'm like, okay, then you should be able to do this. You should be able to handle that. You should be able to do this. That's not how I look at Brook, bro. Brook was leading no real ass niggas like that. His expectations only go so far. He was leaving.
To me, that's still to me, for the point that I'm making, that shit is still irrelevant, and it's only because you need to show me. Brook proved it again. If he didn't have those accolades in the background, then I wouldn't expect the shit that I see from him in this chapter. This chapter, it was the chapter that Brook was the one that told us, yo, so there has to be more than just 2 holes in the That's a gem.
Okay, so Pete, and that's the IQ shit, right?
That did a military shit, knows how to run operations. I expect him to know that shit, and that's what he did.
He did deduce that shit. He did on the fly.
That's the IQ shit right there, right? That IQ shit. Peep this, Trip. That IQ shit alone has nothing to do with him being able to hang with.
Listen to me, gentlemen. Hey, listen to me, right? Listen to me, gentlemen. Listen to me. Hold on, slow down.
Alone has nothing to do with him being able to hang with worst generation niggas. That doesn't mean he should be able to hang
with still harping on him hanging with worst generation niggas. I've been off that. I told you I just want to consistency from Brook. That's been my whole point. If Brook has all this stuff background, then yes, I expect to know these things from I expect to see Brook starting to do these things. Yes. People have been talking about they want to see Usopp tee up. Usopp's here offering his help, even though he's whispering in it. He's offering his help. On top of him offering his help, he's the one that tells us, "Yo, they got something bigger planned for Elbap after they're doing all of this." And it's because he's a smart guy. He's an observation guy. Somebody supposed to be able to observe shit. If they're, like I said, these things are showing. They're showing that I'm getting the questions that are being answered for me are the questions that I've always been asking. Dang, is Usopp going to be the type of guy to be able to peep something going on in a plan? He has all this observation hockey and all. Is he be able to make use of his observatory skills? He did it this chapter. That was great. You know what I'm saying? Brooke, how would you know if someone who's great at espionage should know there's more than 2 people? Well, how do you prove that, Oda? By fucking having the one who's great at espionage tell us that shit. Yes, keep answering, keep giving us the questions. Like I said, if Usopp had the background of a Brook, I would have been expecting more from Usopp. He's done good for what he's gotten, and that's great. For someone who's playing pirate on an island, he's been doing a great job. But for someone that I think if Usopp had Brook's background,
bro. Y'all don't want to hear it for real. Y'all wouldn't even want to hear it or even want to even fucking fathom it. I could see Brooke versus Killingham directly.
Me too. Off the stature of how they dress.
Directly.
Yeah. I said the same
fuck how they dress. Yeah. The ability itself, like, it's the ability itself that Killingham possesses. You know what I'm saying? Like Killingham also falls asleep. He'd have to stay awake. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a thing. Like, it's a narcoleptic thing. He fucking falls asleep. It's no one. He can't stop that. What if that's something Brooke like that? What if that's something tied to what's going on with the ability and all that type of shit? If that's something Brooke actually has to go against, his narcolepsy on some motherfucking.
Brooke can wake up the kids, and I would respect it.
That's ultimately where I'm going. That'd be his only way to wake up. Yeah, because the you know what I'm saying, like that type shit. And I'm imagining the bit, like, you know, part of it also has to do with the devil fruit that he has. You know what I'm saying? Because he has to be able to do this on a consistent basis, because that's his job, that's his mission type shit. So he can't leave that form. So he'll have to, you know what I'm saying? It could. Hey, I'm just throwing that out.
I agree with you on that.
But all I'm saying, it just dawned upon me that song is a diss to the fucking Celestial Dragon.
That's why Summer's directly after.
And this bitch go over there bumping that shit, and Summer's like, "Oh, what do I? You don't like what's going on now? Turn that shit off. This fucking new world. This our world." That nigga, he low key offended. He don't like that song.
I'm telling you don't like the world that you live in now. Why are you listening?
No. Hey, fucking Brooke. Hey, fucking Brooke versus Summers, nigga. Brooke versus Summers, nigga. The Summers beefed up about that song, nigga.
I see it.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm kind of on both of your sides when it comes to Brooke. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need more from him, and you can give it to me in battle. You can give it to me in battle. You can give it to me in music. It don't matter. I do need it. However, if all I'm gonna get is what we've been getting, I'm kind of cool with that too, because I love my nigga. You feel me? So that's all. Like, I'm very yin and yang with it for both of y'all on this, but like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm still gonna acknowledge, like, bro, like, you had to take a nap with Big Mom. You had no choice in the matter, nigga. I don't care what you talking about. And that shit with Paris Sparrow was embarrassing. I hated that scene.
You know, it's crazy.
I've just expressed my love for Brooke.
Bro, I told Coach that.
Just expressed my deep love to him. And I hate that. If you want to talk about a scene I hate from Brooke, I hate that scene. Like, seeing you caught up in that candy, nigga, was pathetic to me.
Trying to ask.
I'm sorry.
Goddamn.
My bad.
Do you think
I got some vexing on? My bad.
We know Katakuri was there. We know Katakuri was there, but Katakuri did not choose to become a combatant in that situation until Luffy came into play. Sparrow was the one handling Chopper and Brooke. Do we not? Why is it that Sparrow? I do think, outside of what we were told, because at this point in time, we didn't know too much about Sparrow. All we knew is that he was not one of the sweet three generals or whatever. He was not one of Big Mom main niggas, just like Usopp. Just like Brooke is not one of Luffy's main three guys.
You asking me a trip?
So in my eyes, I thought Luffy. Y'all got me fucked up right now. Brooke should have been able to handle Sparrow in that moment on the ship. How do you feel about that?
You asking me a trip?
I still stand. He asking me because now we know he like the first son and all that shit, and like, again, that don't matter to me because I also know that all her kids have different daddies. Them niggas don't have the same daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even if they do, we understand how not all, even twins, some twins ain't born the same. You know what I'm saying? It happens oddly sometimes, but it happens.
Right.
It's called an abnormality. You know what I'm saying? My bad. You just follow me a little bit. But so to answer your question truly, it still don't matter. you should have had something for that.
Thank you.
You should have something.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, like I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. Every straw should have something for that. So like Chopper also get slack for that too. But again, I'm gonna go back to moments. You know what I'm saying? Chopper is the weak trio member considered for a reason.
Yeah. That's why
you understand me? I just gave you that anime scene in Wano when they was crashing on the Torii Gate. You know what I'm saying? They had the weak trio cowering behind the ship. I'm sorry, in the ship, while Broken Up was out there stunting, flexing what they say they got in their bag. So what I'm getting at is you should have had something in your bag for that. At the very least. Like we lost Pedro, gang. And Pedro, you fucked with Pedro in that arc. We saw how him and Pedro kind of like had a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they had a bond at the very least in that arc. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it don't change my take on that. We needed stuff. I needed just like how Nika is explaining how he needs shit from whatever.
I got two things to say, and none of them have anything to do with Katakuri.
That's something I needed in that moment, and he did not deliver. I'm salty. That's like I needed something.
You can answer this.
Nothing for me.
How much stronger do you think Pedro is than Brook?
My first thing.
I hope you don't care about that nigga.
My first question. You can answer this, Trip. How much stronger
one time was good
Pedro is than Brook?
Whole Cake is not my favorite art, so it's not like I have never rewatched it.
Pedro Brook,
to be honest with you, never reread it.
Okay,
you feel me? But
so peep this.
Off of my vague memory, how strong I believe he is. I believe he Brook level.
All right, so if Pedro is Brook level, and you expected Brook to have something for the lollipop nigga,
that's what I expect. No, I say that to say what I expect from Brook.
All right, so if Pedro is Brook level, and you expected Brook to have something for the lollipop nigga, and Pedro didn't have nothing for the lollipop nigga, how do those two things coincide?
Coincides because your boy shouldn't have died right there. Y'all both came together.
He's saying that he should have had something.
Y'all both came together and had something. Y'all both should have. That show both should again. Because this is because this all come from you're saying you're speaking on like again you follow expectations. My expectations for Brook are way different.
No, we're talking about the fight with the lollipop nigga and Brook and Pedro.
We're talking about a fight.
So I'm only talking about strength.
I'm not talking expectations. Why does all that? It's not about a fight. Because I thought it was about expectations.
No, we're talking about the fight with the lollipop nigga and Brook and Pedro. So I'm only talking about strength right now. Fuck expectations.
You're only talking about strength. Yeah, well, I expected both of them to not to have some shit right there. Because I ain't want. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put it to you like this: if he ain't had nothing for Pedro right there, he should have died. How about that? Brook should have died too. The fact that Brook did die, you know what I'm saying? You ain't had nothing for me, and you just out here.
Okay,
bro was just stuck in candy.
If that's the case, let me give you my second point.
He was just stuck there. Nah, you should die, bro. You should sepulchre. You should like. Nah, bro, you took that L like that's an L for him.
Okay,
and I'm mad at
that.
If that's
L for him.
Let me give you my second point.
Everybody gets on ace for that.
It's L for him. You can't if the nigga died, we wouldn't have this conversation. Like we don't. Nobody's really shits on Ace for dying to our kind. Like okay, you died, right? But to just sit there and take but like to just sit there and just take the L.
My second point.
So again, if you go into my expectation, I don't get on Ace about that.
My second point. The lollipop nigga for sure he's not in the top 3. He's not with Smoothie, he's not with Katakuri.
So tell me who the fourth nigga is.
Is he not the fourth nigga
Snack?
on the crew?
Who is Snack?
Wait, what?
He doesn't really hold that type of a position. No, he's not the fourth.
So tell me who the fourth
Snack is.
Snack
is. I just told you. Snack
is.
Who is Snack?
Even after Snack lost the kid and your rules, he was still kept around.
Who is Snack?
Who's Snack?
Who is Snack? Pound Snack, whatever it is.
So where do y'all rank the lollipop nigga? What number is he?
Your kid beat him up to get the pony gift, and I think your Roots did the same shit. He was actually one of the sweet commanders.
So where do y'all rank?
He was the fourth one. The fourth one is just exactly.
And I still got other.
Well, he was again. He was. If I'm to be honest,
we all watched.
He doesn't have a ranking. It's one of those weird things. He's the first son. He has a seniority ranking, not a strength ranking.
Like her advisor.
He's. You know what I'm saying? It's not that type of a ranking,
we're talking about the people we see in Whole Cake Island who actually
I ain't gonna
fight
say
the most.
ultimate, but like
You cannot tell me
I think you're too much
is not
of a
top
power
10
scale for this type of a conversation when it comes down to our expectations for Brooke.
Bro, we're talking about
No.
we
Stay
see
there.
And why we expect more.
Stay there. I want Trip to answer me first.
You cannot tell me the Lollipop nigga is not a top 10 strength nigga in my Big Mom's
yes or no?
I refuse to.
So Brooke's not a top 10 nigga in Luffy's.
Me personally,
no.
Like my nigga,
Stay there.
That's why I want to put that in the conversation.
Unless y'all about to tell me another nigga I don't know.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
For Big Mom's
personally, whoever Snack is, fine. Throw him in there.
For Big Mom's
I don't see this nigga being outside of the top 5. Unless y'all about to tell me another nigga.
Who? Perospero?
Yeah.
You talking about Perospero?
For Big
I already named.
You mean like he's in the top 5?
Big Mom's crew.
Already named of it.
He gotta
Like
be.
I don't have him. The top 5 is what you're saying? No, I don't have him stronger than Daifuku or others.
I already
named
of it. I already
named
the. I already named.
But that puts that, bro. No, you. But again, that's
Big Mom's crew.
It's like, bro, are you? Come on, count. Wait a minute, count with
So
us, bro.
if
Count
we all
with us.
agree he's
Count with
top
us.
10, I want y'all to tell me where he is.
That's 5, guy.
But we all agree he's top 10.
He's not even automatically in there.
Yeah, he's not top 5. That's why.
So now you're looking into your 6, 7, 8, 9.
He is. Because we all agree he's top 10. So where is he in the 10? If he's
I don't care to even put him anywhere in there. All I care to put him, the only place I care to put him at is a place where Brooke is not supposed to falter right there to a nigga like Perospero. That's it.
Exactly. Okay,
that's
I'm
it.
glad I'm not the only one. If it was me by myself doing this trick,
because I will repeat what I just said. Had that been Frankie instead of Brooke, Pedro wouldn't have died at the very least. I needed something from bro in that moment.
I don't know.
Lose to this nigga. Fine. We don't need to lose Pedro too, nigga. This is embarrassing.
Big RP Pedro.
That's an assumption.
I had Pedro over Frankie.
What the fuck?
I don't see how Pedro.
I don't know if that's true.
Man, RP Pedro, bro. It's getting late.
RP Pedro. I had Pedro over Frankie. I don't see how Pedro's not over Frankie.
I did not have Pedro over Frankie.
Okay, but
I don't know what
I
don't have Pedro in a damn thing to the radical beam, so I don't know how that's working out at all.
Fair.
Before I leave, again, Frankie would have pulled that radical beam out, and we would at least not have lost Pedro. Brooke should have pulled something out, so we would have at least not lost Pedro. Lose to Perospero. Fine, fuck it. Lose to motherfucking Pedro. That's fine. Fuck it. Cool. We don't need to lose. I mean, I said lose to Pedro. Lose to Perospero. Cool. We don't need to lose Pedro as well. That's all I'm getting at, bro. Ultimately, you just counted out the top 5 in Big Mom in actuality. Perospero don't even make there. And if you go 6, count down the Straw Hats and tell me who's at 6.
For the Straw Hats?
Count down the Straw Hats, tell me who's at 6.
I got you. Because I feel like I have Brooke at like 7 or 8.
So the Lollipop nigga, he's not 6 either.
If you're 7, lose to someone else's 6. Okay. We don't need to also lose the nigga we just got that didn't come. That's all I'm getting at, bro. That's embarrassing. Yeah, you can't say, oh, fuck all this. Fuck all this. Because I got to sleep and I hate going on this.
We can call. You're not letting me answer. We can call it.
You're not going to be honest.
That's fine.
This shit crazy.
The Lollipop nigga is ranked higher than Brooke. We can call it. I think Brooke isn't supposed to be able to be. If I think Pedro is stronger than Brooke. If the Lollipop nigga beats Pedro, I don't think Brooke
the Lollipop nigga is ranked higher than Brooke is on his. I think Brook isn't supposed to be able to beat him. If I think Pedro is stronger than Brook. If the lollipop nigga beats Pedro, I don't think Brook should. That's yeah.
But did you just hear me say he should beat Pedro? Did I said Pedro? Did I ever say he should have beat Perospero? No.
What do you mean he should pull something out
in that moment where he stuck there in Candy and couldn't do shit, and we end up losing Pedro in the fucking process. That's why you stuck there crying, bro.
I paused.
You should have pulled something out and not be stuck right there, bro. That is all I'm getting at.
This is not a string feat. He could have been resourceful.
Yeah. Tell me what he was supposed to do.
Right. I watch this. Watch this.
A good one too.
Let me first of all, let me breathe. I mean, yelling like this.
Right.
Hey, say Nika. You know we split, so I don't even want to be the one to say this. I'm gonna just ask another musician, a fellow musician.
Right.
Can you not fucking hum a fucking tune without an instrument?
Sure.
Yeah. Are there not? Is there not such things as the acoustic version, the beatless version, the vocal version that is just like you could have hummed out something. You could have got to singing something, a song. You fight with songs, even though you also pull out your sword and shit. You fight with music.
He pulling shit out your ass.
Some musical in that moment and have that nigga off his wiggle for a little second. Like, hold on, you was finna get to singing something nice right there. Almost got me off my
tell me the end result.
That's all something. You just asked me what do I mean, so I answered you. Don't give me that bullshit. You don't give me that bullshit. You just asked me what I mean, and I literally just answered you. That's literally what I mean.
You show me the end result. He sings something and then what? Because they're still being attacked.
The end result, the end result, he gets out the candy and saves Pedro, and they get out of it.
Oh, from singing?
This is actually a fact.
Yes. Being able to get out the ice, you can being able to get out the mud, being able to sing, so you could then crack your way out the motherfucking candy. You could have iced up the shit. Let Chopper hit that bitch with a big punch. Y'all break away with a little chunk of iceberg with you.
And then
but like y'all
run
can
away,
still
right?
kind of sail your way into the yes, like they were trying to do any fucking way.
Because my point about it is, like, I get
like they were trying to do any fucking way. Weren't they running away?
I thought they were there to
They were there to protect the ship and got jumped.
The fuck?
Weren't they there to protect the ship?
I guess they were.
Got quiet.
Again, I have not rewatched
the niggas were not running.
I have not rewatched all this.
That doesn't hurt.
You're talking about two separate people.
I remember them running away at the end of the day because why was Luffy and them trying to get back to the ship while Big Mom was chasing them? Were they not going to run away re-fucking gardens?
Yeah.
You're talking about
so ultimately, you being stuck in that candy, is that not still you failing to protect that ship? So I don't give a fuck what your mission is. You failed it.
Yeah, he failed it.
Period. Don't let's not get the. That's why I'm like you keep separating shit from it being a fight and blah blah. No, you were there to handle business, whatever the fuck the business was. Because you could not handle business, we lost Pedro in the fucking process, and you sitting there crying like a bitch. I don't care about none of that fucking shit. You should have handled your fucking business. Because like you want to give him the credit for the Big Mom shit. Like, hold on, Nika, hold on. Like you want to give him the credit for the Big Mom shit. He handled his business. Get the motherfucking poneglyph. Period. Even if you die in the process, yo ho ho, you already dead. We get all that shit. But get the poneglyph, period. He handled business and got it. But I guess what y'all would, and that's what I also don't do. It was beautiful to see, yes. You stood against the bitch and said, "Show me your panties," but we all know that was like your final request in case you might die right now.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck are we talking about here, nigga?
But no, I did want to say this, right?
You handled your business right there, but I guess the business you think he handled was what he did after that. That's not the business he was there to handle. So how that even played out, as much as you wanna, however it that was just for that. That's bro had to end up taking a nap with the bitch, and he did not want to.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
I do want to say this.
Like, what are we talking about here.
Well, this is my last point. Because I know we getting ready to close out. But I was basically saying, like, for this is to coach, and this is mainly to points that he argued on past lives. Because he always likes to rant the Katakuri part being there. I would have been cool if Katakuri would have been the one to submit him. They didn't. It was literally just Pharaoh Sparrow. So getting past Pharaoh Sparrow, yes, that would have been cute for the problem, yes, but Katakuri is still overarching there. But I'd have been fine with whatever else they took to Katakuri.
I feel like
Sparrow's part. That's the part.
Feel like Pedro should have been more competent.
I still feel like Brook should have been a little more.
I thought Pedro was gonna handle that nigga.
He didn't win.
He should have been more competent on that one, bro.
You don't gotta be.
Should have been more competent on that one, bro. Way more.
I thought Pedro was gonna.
Pedro in a straw hat. He don't. Pedro not a straw hat. Pedro not even a straw hat.
You don't gotta be.
Yeah, exactly.
Pedro.
Exactly.
No, he do gotta be. He do gotta be. Because that's where all these expectations truly come from. That's where all these expectations truly come from.
We're here
That's
for
where it
your
all
crew. We're
comes
here
from,
for your
nigga.
crew members.
What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, we
Ooh,
expect
power
nigga
scareless, man. Y'all get under my skin.
I think he was
No, you power scareless get under my skin. I just bet this can, bro. That's crazy. Ooh, you power scareless get on my nerve. Nah,
thank you.
That's what this is, man. I know that's what this is. That's truly what that stands from. I ain't gonna hold you. Because the things we were talking about is handling your business. I just showed you the separation me and you both had. We both agree we handle business with Big Mom, but it clearly is separate because I think the business you consider he handled is what he handled after the said business I think he was there to handle. He was there to get the punishment.
But I already agree we can call that situation embarrassing.
But y'all
handled the business with the shit.
Like y'all give him the points for being able to fight against the goddamn elements that she was throwing at him and to survive the shit that killed regular niggas, but it didn't kill him because he's already dead. Yo ho ho. Like come the fuck on, my nigga. Like that shit don't fucking matter. That entire segment was a gag. You wanna call it what it is, my nigga? Everything after let me see your panties was a gag.
I've already agreed that
every
he
bitch
didn't handle
he
business.
asked to see them shits whoops his ass for it.
Except for the
I agree with you.
I'm feeling they don't actually have draws. Yo, that's the gag. They don't actually have draws.
I don't know. Maybe I just got Pedro in my mind.
It was.
Oh man,
he didn't handle his business.
I thought Pedro was strong.
They were jumps. I don't know. Like I feel like Pedro. I don't know. Maybe I just got Pedro
was a mentor
in my mind stronger than
Pedro was one of them niggas, bro. We're not about to act like
the
Pedro
field.
and Brooke.
I thought Pedro.
That's what the sacrifice of death does for. That's what the sacrifice of death do.
All of the minks even
Pedro was a mentor to a lot of minks on the island. Pedro was one of them niggas, bro. We're not about to act like Pedro and Brooke are the same.
Brooke was one of them niggas. No, that's exactly what we're gonna act like.
All of the minks are stronger than any.
He was one of them niggas.
So no.
See again, strength. Yo, your strength. There go your strength thing. There go your strength thing.
To Brooke, I honestly don't see the parallel.
I could consider you to be one of them. I could consider you to be one of them niggas without you being strong. If like if we're harping on strength here. I can still consider you to be one of them.
I don't look at Brooke as one of them niggas.
Don't look at Usopp as one of them niggas. I think
Usopp
has moments
of placing on him.
I look at every single.
I think he's on the way to being one. I don't think he's one of them niggas.
And that's where we differ.
I don't look at.
I feel like that's a strong.
I think Usopp has moments.
To me, Usopp is one of them niggas.
I think he's on the
way. You want Usopp on your side.
I don't think he's one of them.
No. Okay. Listen. Again, Usopp got moments that, and I say moments, I can speak on moments that are not strength related, that are equivalent to Zoro moments.
Okay.
That's all I'm getting at. Like, he is one of them.
When did
but again, for y'all equate that to strength.
I was gonna say from my point,
and he's lobby.
Even with like a
to answer your question, and he's lobby.
Frankie doesn't have a
background. For me, just Usopp's not that much stronger.
Frankie won the whole gang.
He's strength,
and he's the leader of a gang. So I expect him to have some type of
for you is strength. For you is strength.
How? Usopp's not that much stronger.
Again, I just I just know.
Oh, y'all talking? Okay.
He's not one of them niggas that just
Rosa, that's not my thing.
That's what he did.
I don't have a. He's not one of them niggas, and he's not one of them niggas in Emmy's lobby to me because of strength.
He's not one of them niggas in Just Rosa to me because of strength. It's what he did.
Oh, so I guess I misunderstand why you're giving it to him. I'm thinking you're giving it. You're giving it to him because of gaining that observation feat and being able to land that target and not let our captain turn into a toy. I imagine.
The sugar shit, yeah. The $5 billion bounty. All of Just Rosa. That's when I looked at. Usopp.
I agree, but I'm saying that wasn't a moment for Usopp.
Okay, so,
I don't think Usopp
you can concur when you can consider someone to be one of them niggas without it being regarded as strength.
I agree, but I'm saying that was an
okay. That's what he does for Brooks.
I don't think Usopp is overall that nigga, but in Just Rosa, that was a moment where he was that nigga.
I definitely I don't think he needs to be overall that nigga either. There's a reason why, even though I can say Usopp one of them niggas, he's still considered a weakling trio on the Straw Hats. I'm just saying, as a Straw Hat, it is a goddamn. It must be on your resume that you one of them niggas. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had to have been shown. You want to be real? Usopp showed that in motherfucking when we met them. Like when he finally stood up to Kuro. And the moment I'm talking about ain't when he was hunched over, couldn't get up, but still telling Kuro he can't get past. I'm talking way before that, when he punched that nigga dead in the face and told him, watch your mouth around my daddy.
For sure.
That's when Luffy declared him as one of them niggas.
That's fair.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, you know, that's all I'm getting at, bro. Like, you should not happen. I don't care. Even this is perfect. Fucking, hold on, watch this. This is fucking perfect. Again, this may be strength related, but I believe the relationship is deeper between these two characters that I'm about to bring up. It ain't purely based on strength, but it's a lot based on, like, I know you stand on your business at the end of the day. When this nigga Luffy came out the motherfucking snake and fucking in Skypiea, and he saw Zoro on that fucking ground. Bro said, how could this happen even with you? You see what I'm saying? The same reason why it's like Luffy said what he said to Usopp here in Elbaf. Like, my nigga, how you get caught in that cat? I know it's a big ass cat and all that, but I know you, Usopp. For sure. But you know, we of course we understand the circumstance, but it's like we also understand, like, goddamn, nigga, you still should have woken up a bit sooner, nigga. Like, goddamn, maybe you actually got caught in there. You feel me? Like, goddamn. You feel me? That's all it's like. It's like, in that moment, it's like, God damn, bro. And we lost Pedro Brook. What was you doing? You was the strongest one there that we had.
I mean, in closing, it's good dialogue.
Damn, my nigga. Like, you should have had you
something. Let's close it out now. About to hit 2 o'clock in my battery.
For sure. And we can always find some common ground
in closing,
in our dialogue.
Good dialogue. I always love
I like to go into the edge and make better content.
Hey, great passionate dialogue, man. Love One Piece. Love the Straw Hats. Love the game.
We can always
love the game.
In our dialogue.
For the people that stayed on this long,
I like to go into the edge.
You know what I'm saying?
Make better content.
Chapter 1144, great chapter. I don't think.
I ain't talking about nothing I love like this in a while.
After that, I think it's gonna be 3 in a row.
For the people that stayed on this long,
Friday,
I appreciate y'all.
We will be back with general
chapter 1144, great chapter. I don't think it's a break next week, so that means we're definitely gonna get a break after that because I think that's gonna be 3 in a row.
Hot take, boom, there it is.
On Friday, we will be back with general anime topics, and
we will be back till next time. Peace.
What's it called? Hot topics.
Yes, sir.
Hot takes.
Hot take. Boom, there it is. That's how you know. So y'all,
for sure. Hey,
we will be back till next time. Peace.
you acting so nervous? And why are you sweating so much? And why do you look so hungry? And no, wait, it's not what you said. This is a big misunderstanding. You've got to believe me. Listen, I am telling you, you better listen to me, SpongeBob. You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward? Why are you acting so nervous?
How y'all doing?
Why you walk out so sad like that?
I'm not sad.
Smile in. You look like y'all be looking so pretty when y'all smile.
You look like you smell good. Smell good?
That's how you look.
Want to smell?
Hell yeah, let me smell it. Okay. Now, she knew she smelled good. I knew she smelled like that.
I'm surprised you smelled it.
I'm phone down. This nigga got a
You think I don't know about it?
No, you smell my feet on my baby.
Huh? For sure.
Say that one more time.
Jamaica?
Jamaica. Do you want to Jamaica?
Speak the English for him.
What do you want me to say?
You know how to say shit?
Yeah, I come from Jamaica. I must know if you speak Patois.
Oh my God. I'm from them. Let me know yours. Nigga said. Nigga said. That's how. Oh, hold on.
Right now? You want me to do that right now?
You will?
No.
You want me to do that right now? Oh my God.
Damn, my knee got me for a second. I'm been for a minute. I'm been fight. I've been saying first.
No, because you're always she was talking to me. It's different.
Yeah, I want to cop like it is.
They don't want to wait your turn. So look, what's your... I can't if the nigga just keeps saying, do your homework, let's go. Do your homework, what you doing with this? Like, man, shut the fuck up. What? But not do your homework. Listen.
How y'all doing?
Your energy.
Mm-hmm.
Let the feet game doing.
Hey, yo, Swag, what you look like this? Hey, yo, Swag, what you look like this?
Everybody keep asking me about where's my...
Remember it happened. Yo, I remember when they seen bro. The front of the party, man. Yeah, of course, bro.
Yeah, remember on that?
Hey, I love you. Yeah, of course, bro. Love.
Yeah, yo.
Hey, bro, I love you, bro. Love you too, bro. Love you too.
Yeah, like,
yeah, what you say?
Remember when that day, bro?
Hey,
day, we had
I said love you too.
Like, Uncle, you ain't feel me though. You ain't feel me. Nah, feel me. Uncle, you got to feel me in your bones when I say it. Like, I never get to say it, but like when I'm lost on purpose, and you decide let me say what you did, make me work to me. It's still do, bro. It's still do. It mean the world to me.
family to me. And when you come home and you be telling me, bro, stop eating in my bed, you spilling ranch, it ain't ranch, bro. Those your nieces and nephews. You like a brother to me. Yeah. You don't understand. Like, I'm trying to be like you, bro. That's why when I be hitting girls, I be trying to do the same moves you be doing. Bro, me and the moves I be doing. How do you know what I do? Because I be looking under the door when you do it. What the hell you doing looking under the door? I'm studying film, nigga. I'm studying the greats, bro. I'm like you was the LeBron in life, bro. Alright, I'll tell you what you bro with LeBron. You like a little under. And I kill any nigga that disrespect me. Any nigga that even breathe at you wrong, bro, I'ma kill him, bro. You gonna say like that? Did I breathe at you wrong? I disrespect you. Hey, yo, stop. Hey, bro, somebody get me some water, bro. He's drunk as hell, bro. Yeah, I got you. I'm not even drunk. Yes, you are, bro. You're drunk. Bro, I'm not drunk. You're not drunk. Exactly. Yeah, you can take some water, bro. I'm not drunk. No, you gotta sit down. You gotta sit down, bro. You gotta sit down. Other shit. I don't really have a problem with Kendrick. I would never call Kendrick a faggot. You know what I'm saying? I don't like what happened with the song and that whole idea. I don't like how they used Kendrick. That's wrong. And also, I don't like saying you know about the about two things. I think that's they feel like we're doing criticize the Super Bowl performance. They're like, man, I ain't like it on Party's album. They got some verses like, yeah, he can rap, but they don't hear the shit. Y'all don't go to church. God is an angry God. God is a jealous God. What are you talking about? I'm the closest thing to God on earth. And I act just like how God acts. So I got 10 face, one time. I got 10 face, one time. Another time, I got 9 face. So yeah, be tired as hell by the end of that shit. You're tired after 10 days? I'm working out every day. I'm tripping. I'm up the back. I'm tripping with the boys. I'm up the back tripping. Other shit. I don't really have a problem. Like, speech is censored a lot. What we could say, it feels like yes, daddy, just like that. Yes, daddy. Yes, daddy, baby. Yes, daddy, baby. We will. Okay. Just walked to the house. Goddamn hungry now. I just walked there in my neighbor's house. Smelling good as well. They cooking some pasta sauce over there. I wish I could get a plate of that. You can get some, baby. Just come on over here about an hour. It'll be done. Alright, I'm gonna be over there in a minute. You have to tell me twice. What I tell you about this shit, bitch? I'm tired of you, ho. I'm tired of you. Stop your ass. Somebody help me. Bitch, mind your business over there. And what?
said girl in they said girl in the red need to leave Shay Vibing. You don't like the songs? You don't like the songs? I ain't gonna lie. I ain't know. They been saying that all day. Y'all not fucking with girl in the red? Let me know. At the end of the day, we gotta blame the chat. Chat, what I said.
No, I'm gonna be honest here. I think that a lot of girls aren't actually focusing on the music and they're saying yes to everything because they want to kiss ass.
So wait.
No, I think the songs are great, but that's not the problem. The problem is, instead of people getting real opinions.
So what's your real opinion? I don't care. Okay, what's your real opinion?
I think the last song is great.
But the one before that, what about the one before that? Damn.
It was good, but it's like, give your honest opinion. Quit
What's
saying
your
yes to
honest opinion?
everything.
What is your honest opinion? What's your honest opinion? You didn't like it? Wait. You didn't like it?
No, I didn't
You didn't like it, no? You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Play the next one. You gotta go. Play the next one. Hey, play the next one. Play the next one. GTA. Play GTA. Fuck that shit. She gotta go. Everybody. She gotta go. Yeah, go over there. We gonna blame the chat. She gotta get up out of here, right, chat? She gotta get out of here, chat. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. My dad right here, y'all, and these are the top 3 things he taught me on how to cheat and not get Agreeability test. Before you are a member of the team, we have to make sure you share my magnificent taste and sensibilities. Oh shit, nigga, that motherfucker banging right there. You hear that bass line? It was blazing, son. That shit is incredible, man. I was turn up the bass a little higher in mom. Fuck you, hating ass nigga. Nobody give a fuck what your dumb ass think. Give me this motherfucker. Get your ass up out of here, yo, hook ass nigga. Sorry, fuck ass, pussy ass nigga. Fuck up out of here with that bullshit. The first test is the agreeability test. Before you are a member of the team, we have to make sure you share my magnificent taste.
Seat of honor. He didn't want to say that. He said that. I've never heard that one before. I had to wear shorts tonight, so.
It's so old.
I'm so
Squishy. Whoa.
You guys, I haven't had sex in like a day, so like. Let's go.
Oh, you might have to hop off. I'm not trying to talk about it. It's just Twitch.tv.
Whoa.
channel. It's Robbie from Show and Showdown. And today I'm here with Kuwar. Kuwar's address.
Lava, Senpai Lava, Manga Malo Carry.
And today we are giving
Give me your best anime. All right, bro. Give me your best anime hot take. One Piece is peak fiction. Nothing comes close. I don't want to hear. Bro, give me your best anime.
actors who look almost identical. Natalie Portman and Keira Knightley look almost identical. They literally look like real twins. Henry Cavill and Matt Bomer also look very similar. They have very similar facial features. Timothée Chalamet and Natalia Dyer look nearly identical. The resemblance between them is truly striking. Victoria Justice and Nina Dobrev look very much alike. It's even hard to tell them apart. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Javier Bardem also look very similar. They have many facial features in common. Bryce Dallas Howard and Jessica Chastain look a lot alike. They have many features in common.
You're good. I like LeBron James so much better as a person than Michael Jordan. The fact that Michael Jordan won't even converse with LeBron because he's still playing and going after all of his records to break them is ridiculous. Like, you've been retired, Michael. You have $1 billion business. You're good. But the fact is that I don't see you mentoring or helping any of the younger generation become the best that they can. And when I look at LeBron, a lot of players look up to him. A lot of players are seeking his advice. And LeBron's not just like not going to answer a guy's call. And then you saw when Kobe Bryant retired, and we can go down the list of all the things that Kobe Bryant tweeted at this younger generation of stuff that he wanted them to achieve and what he knew that they were capable of. Then you have Michael who's like, nah, fuck them kids. I think it's weird that he doesn't want to talk to LeBron. Why? He admires you. I mean, LeBron wears the number 23 because of you. And I get you're competitive, but dude, you're like in your 60s, right? Like, grow up.
Uh-huh.
Because the Declaration only refers to God 4 times in the Constitution, doesn't refer to God at all, and it only articulates the structure of government. So first of all, remember that we were a collection of states and colonies, and you need to read the state constitutions before anything else. 9 out of 13 of the original states require you to be a Bible-believing Christian to serve in government at the time of the founding. All 13 out of 13 required a declaration of faith. 9 out of 13 required you to be a Protestant, except Maryland, which was Catholic, which still required a declaration of faith. Almost every single one of the original state constitutions, Pennsylvania included, they had, I profess Lord and Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior in the original state constitution. You remember, we're a collection of states before that. Secondly, 55 out of 56 of the original signers of the Declaration were Bible-believing church-attending Christians. The common law is inherited from Blackstone. It was
over.
Who is that guy? Oh my god, this is so crazy. You just like saved my life. You're like a hero, and you're cute.
Really?
Yeah, you saved my life and you're cute.
Well, this is fantastic.
Hey, here's the hero.
That's me.
Pull up a chair, sleepyhead. Your new friend's been explaining the news to you. Virginia, do you mind if I use the bathroom?
Last door on the left. I think I might be in love. Anybody happen to catch her name? Name's Lucy.
Lucy Carlisle, a.k.a. Joan Doyle, a.k.a. Selma Wrightsdale. Carlisle is wanted for murder in multiple cases. She kills her boyfriends, 2 so far. We've been trying to catch her, but she keeps changing her name.
She tried to choke me with a pair of shoelaces. I chased her for a few blocks, but then she jumped into a van with some guy. Good luck, dude.
And you'll never guess how it ended.
Call the police.
Thank you for calling Question Banks. How may I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to dispute some charges.
The unauthorized charges. I will now start filing the dispute for you.
Yeah, it's been some charges at the Houston rodeo that I need to dispute. I was never there.
I will again be asking you a series of questions for security purposes.
Well, what's the transaction? I can tell you right now. I never went.
So the purchase at NRG Stadium
I
is
ain't
not...
never been to NRG, so I don't know how those charges could have been on my card.
After the ticket was bought, it was $40 for parking.
Okay, see now $40 for parking is crazy because I don't even have a car. I ride straight Metro, fuel card, so I don't understand how that's there.
Around $200 spent at Bun B Birthday Palooza.
Bun B?
Yeah, Bun B Birthday Palooza, March 7th.
Bun B Birthday Palooza. Okay, see, look, I like Bun B, but I didn't even know it's his birthday. So of course I didn't go to that. I was not there. I was not there at that. That wasn't me.
$100 spent.
Right.
Yes.
See, I'm afraid of heights. I'm afraid of fast things. So of course I wouldn't spend that type of money on that.
And then you upgraded your pass to get food access, which cost an...
For food? Photo case?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's an additional $75.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Then we also have a related purchase for a cowboy hat and cowboy boots for the Houston rodeo. Was this you?
Cowboy hat? I don't need a cowboy. I was at work. I saw it on Instagram, but I didn't go to the rodeo. That wasn't me.
Oh, really?
I gotta dispute all those, please.
We'll get this started for you.
This country shit gonna ruin me.